y'all doing tonight? How y'all doing tonight? Let me see if I can set this up the right way. One second here. Probably should have did this before I hit start. I want to make sure that I'm getting everybody in on the space, make sure the space is actually up and we're clear. I want to start sharing it out right now. I've got a couple groups I need to hit. And let's hit it here. Appreciate everybody's been sharing the spaces. These casts are starting to all come together as these political cycles are heating up. Locally, we've got the primaries coming up this Tuesday, as many of you do. Hopefully you will take these elections, these local elections, take these things seriously, because if you don't, I mean, we obviously know what you don't do. If you're not thinking politically at this point, I'm not sure exactly what you're thinking. Things aren't magically going to get better for Native Black Americans, American freedmen. If you want to call yourself an African American tonight, go ahead and call yourself an African American tonight. That you want to be black tonight, you can be black tonight. I get it all. Let me make sure that I've got everything happening here. Do that. I want to make sure that we are getting everybody in here. Looks like we got a lot of the local pages.
Hey.
Some of them like to see my topic. Hey sis, how you doing?
It
says when participants join your broadcast. Okay, I was too slow on the read there. So I've shared this to about 7-8 spaces at this point. Hopefully anybody else that comes in here shares it to their network, shares it to their friends. We've got a serious subject to talk about here tonight. And let me get this straight before I introduce my sister that's just popped up on camera with me. This is not a bashing session. This is actually what they would call teachable moments. And we're going to talk about some things that have transpired in our village here in Washtenaw County that we personally don't appreciate, and other people have spoke on that they didn't appreciate. And it's a teachable time. It's not something that, like I said, it may sound like we're bashing. It may sound like we're being a bit brutal, but sometimes the truth just hurts, and it is what it is. But before I go any further, I want to introduce my sister, Monica Williams. Now, is it Monica Ross Williams?
Well, yeah, it is. My maiden name is Ross.
Okay.
My dad didn't have any sons, so I carried that.
Okay.
The politics because it was honor my dad, but I'm married.
Okay.
As well.
Okay. Because I see Monica Ross Williams and I see Monica Williams, and I don't want to insult anybody, whether they be here, whether they're an ancestral figure. I don't want to insult anybody because a name is a name. It's what we have. It's what makes us, who we are. So I don't want to take anybody out. Now, if there was an ex-husband or something and you just held on to that because you had to do that, for whatever reason, sometimes you got to hold on to that name for the bag. I get it. But, if there's none of that, if it was dad's name, I can definitely understand. And sir, we appreciate you. Appreciate you producing this wonderful spirit here, because I've only known you for about a month now. Well, I've only known you about a month. And,
right.
And
yeah, definitely.
We've logged some serious conversations in about 30 days. So, It's
Agreed.
brought us here. You know, it's
Yeah.
brought us here. I don't want people to think, like I said, once again, it's a bashing session, because it's not a bashing session. We just got to have a teachable moment. We just got to have a teachable moment. You've been hit by a smooth criminal. And what I know now, I do believe that people have drank the Kool-Aid of this young lady and haven't done a proper vetting, as it were, or had a proper sit down with her to explain what we feel as Native Black Americans in this community, how we feel about our elders and our ancestral elders. And
Correct.
some of the things that I've seen, that I've had come across this device here, have been kind of maddening. I listened to a video of yours that was a little upsetting. And from what I know now, because I've had other people chime in and tell me some things, I guess this has been an ongoing thing for several months. And before I get too far off in it, I really want you to explain exactly why we're here, and then we can get into why it's problematic, why this was said, because there's a specific reason why we're here. And I'll just introduce the subject. I have no problem with throwing the name, because she's a public figure. She is a politician. She is a current Ypsilanti City Councilwoman, I believe, and she is running for Washtenaw County Commissioner, I believe. Her name is Annie Somerville. This young lady resides obviously here in our county, and she has served folks literally. She worked at Sidetrack Bar and Grill. That's probably where I became familiar with her face at one time. I no longer do business there for a multitude of reasons, but we'll talk about that another time. It's another video. But she's ingratiated herself into our community. She has put herself in a position to where, like I said, she's on city council now. I actually thought she was going to run for mayor, but she obviously had bigger fish to fry. So she jumped from, you know, that lucrative position of mayor of city of Ypsilanti and decided she wanted to be a county commissioner. And that's where she runs. I guess she's in the primary this week. They've been going hot and heavy out here. But all while they're doing that, Sister Monica, there's been some things that Sister Annie has done. I'm going to call her a sister right now. Even though she's not a sister, I'm going to call her a sister because we're all brothers and sisters. So I'm not here to degrade her tonight. But please explain to the 3-4 people that's going to see this video, why are we here tonight? Why are we here tonight?
Oh, wow. Where do I begin? Basically, I want to go backwards if it's okay. And
Absolutely.
explain some things that are of importance before we go forward.
Okay.
Some of our younger, you know, whether it's millennials, Generation Zs, especially Generation Zs, they may not know the name Maddie Dorsey. They may not even.
Can you explain to them who Maddie Dorsey is before you get too long into it? Because I want this to be a proper walk down for us tonight. We got time. Are the grandkids in bed?
He is on a tablet, so if he
okay. He's occupied.
now.
Okay, we got a little time tonight. We got a
Yeah.
little time.
Yeah. So Maddie Dorsey was and remains the first Black African American, because I like to call my sisters, African American councilwoman in the city of Ypsilanti. In the early 1970s, particularly, I know it's been some, was she elected in 1974 or was she elected in 1975? But either way, she served until 1977. Miss Dorsey lived on Jefferson Street with her husband, James. I know Miss Dorsey because she was my mom's like second mom. So when I was a little kid, I used to go over Miss Dorsey's house all the time because my mother was an activist. And so Miss Dorsey would help her plan and also get out of things, okay? Because sometimes you're an activist, you get yourself in the middle of things.
Yes.
Yep. So we used to spend a lot of time in Miss Dorsey's living room, right? I admired her. I uphold her, especially considering if we really want to be technically correct about the history, she was also the first African American female elected in Washtenaw County, period.
Really?
Yes.
Maddie Dorsey.
Maddie Dorsey.
Noted.
She won that race by 67 votes. It was during a time, the 10 years prior to, right? She dealt with urban renewal, right? Urban renewal, a lot of, again, this is even before my time because I'm Generation X, right? So urban renewal was early 1960s, right? Mid 1960s.
Mm-hmm.
South Side. People had to kind of do the best they could, right? And particularly about building homes, because if we go back and we look at it historically, Ypsilanti Township 2 was basically property deeded. Okay, what
Mm-hmm.
that meant is that there was covenants on property that you could not, if you were African American, live in certain areas. The area I live in right now, West Willow, had a covenant of its own. Okay, the first African American to live in West Willow, which was in the 1960s, mid 1960s, was
Mm-hmm.
Pastor T, who has really run a Church of God in Christ. Okay, he was the
Okay.
first one actually in West Willow. Okay, before then, West Willow was not. Okay, no. All right, so because of that, African Americans, for the most part, was regulated to the South Side, and they had
Okay.
to build the homes that they could. Okay.
So we were redlined. We were redlined.
Most definitely. Most
Okay.
definitely. Yeah.
I
Most
mean, we're
definitely.
gonna call cats tonight. We're gonna call. We
Right.
could say that we moved to an area, we migrate. No, let's call cats tonight. We were redlined to the south
Yeah.
side of Ypsilanti. Thank you.
Most definitely. And the most ironic part about that is that even though African Americans were redlined, their bodies were used. Whether we talk about, and I just real quick, whether we're talking about the B-2 bomber plant, hate to get on this thing about Rosie the Riveter, but please check your history because it was also a lot of African American females working in the B-2 bomber plant. So Rosie is not just what you see on the picture. Okay.
You trying to tell me that Rosie just ain't blind and blue-eyed?
No.
Huh. Because they portray that as if this was a Caucasus movement. So you trying to tell me that we had American freedmen sisters, American Negro sisters, Native
Yeah.
Black American sisters on that rivet line?
Definitely. As the migration happened from the south to the north, yes, they were there too. We were there too. Okay, so I always want to kind of frame I know I went back a little bit into like the 40s.
No, frame it. Please frame it. Because next time I go to the bomber, I'm gonna be like, oh boy, and do the right thing. Put some black people on the wall. How come we ain't got no black riveters on the wall? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
We're waiting on them. So framing this urban renewal, yeah, knowing that basically deed restrictions was there, right, within Ypsilanti Township, and knowing that people had to kind of build their own homes, right? And also you have to realize that it was not a lot of people who would be considered at the African American upper echelon either in those times, right? Yeah, you had some doctors, obviously you had some building owners, but it was not probably 90% of the people who lived on the South Side. Okay? So that's the other frame. So when the urban renewal project came through to try and urban renew, the entire South Side was the plan. Okay? It was to move people out. Where were they going? Maybe they could have been going to the villages. If you know where the Ypsilanti Township golf course is now, that used to be the villages. The villages were built basically as pretty much military quasi housing. It was pretty raggedy. And how I know about the villages is that my mother used to actually live there when when they first migrated from Alabama to Ypsilanti. My grandmother, and my grandfather, they actually lived in the villages. I'm telling the story so people can understand how this redlining actually worked, right?
Break it down.
Right.
Break it down. We have no choice, because there's a lot of people that don't even understand why this means so much to us, because they don't think we have the history that we have around here. So you've got to break all the history down so they can understand why we're right where we are right now. Why it's got me out on my deck tonight. Why it's got you held up on this, because you probably like, you know, I could have did this. We tried to do this about 5 o'clock tonight. We couldn't do it. I had stuff going. You had the grandbaby. I was like, you know what? I'm going to need all your time. So please just break it down, because we got a minute. We got a minute.
Yeah.
We got a minute.
So then you had the villages. So were they going there? That's probably the only place they could go. But those were full with, honestly, poor and lower income, and if you want to say whatever, lower middle income, African Americans, and yes, some poor, even Caucasians stayed in the villages. Okay. They probably had an opportunity to get out of the villages first, but in the same aspect, they did stay there. Okay, this is a historical fact. So, alrighty, so now we got to move forward. So when urban renewal was trying to come through, Miss Dorsey was like, no, you're not tearing down our houses, right? You're not going to basically remove us from where we are. Okay, you're not going to do that. So she fought like the Dickens. Okay, she fought. When I say fought like the Dickens, she literally did. She basically tarred signs about urban renewals. She organized protests in front of the urban renewal office that was in literally on the south side of Ypsilanti. She basically did court battles, and sometimes she represented herself in those court battles. To know Miss Dorsey's history, you have to know that she was born in Louisiana. Okay. Then she was graduated from Southern University. If you don't know what that is, it's probably HBCU. Okay. And then she went to the university to gain more education. She was an educator. So in mind. So she was not a woman at all that should have been called anything else besides a queen. Honorable city councilwoman. Period.
Soldier.
Want to go there.
Fighter.
Definitely. But
warrior.
Only was. I mean, at 3, you can at 4. You can. But I'm telling you what she shouldn't have been called a little bit later.
Yeah.
So this is what Miss Dorsey fought. She fought this battle. One of the other battles that she fought was, and this is in the 60s too, because again, I knew Miss Dorsey as a young child in the 70s. So one of the battles that she equally fought is with Ypsilanti JCs, right? Back in the early 1960s. They used, and now you can't even, most folks would like, they did this, but they did. They used I might as well say the drawing, the description, okay, the visual description of Aunt Jemima for their pancake breakfast. Well, Miss Dorsey did not. Yes, they did. Miss Dorsey did not care for that because she felt like it was derogatory towards Black women.
So wait a minute. Have they used Aunt Jemima's face or image or likeness, name, image, likeness, or what they like to say now? Have they used that before?
I mean, if you go back to the article in 1961, the president of the JCs basically said he talked to some Black folks on the South Side. Of course, you can always find folks that will agree with the assimilation. He talked to some Black folks on the South Side, and they said it wasn't that bad.
Oh, really? So I guess we are kind of where we are tonight, because what we've also noticed is the reason we're here tonight, it's also actually been approved by some recent Negroes. See, we talking about them past Negroes that approved that foolery, but we've got some recent Negroes that have approved this foolery. So this goes back into the 60s.
Yep.
That we've been dealing with this.
Yep. Yep. And you know, it's kind of amazing because when you look at when she took this fight up in the early 1960s, and then what, 2 years ago, I think is Quaker Oats is the owners of quote unquote Aunt Jemima. They basically said, yeah, we did something wrong. We ain't gonna do that no more. But it took, you know, I mean, but so she was kind of ahead of her time about getting into the right fight. Okay.
Right.
Unfortunately, urban renewal went through anyway. It didn't go through the whole entire South Side. It went through about 100, maybe 160 homes. Demolished is a good way to say it, and gone bye-bye.
Right.
And the promise, she didn't stop though. She kept going. She still basically was doing her activism. She still basically was protesting. She still basically did court cases. And honestly, those court cases probably stopped urban renewal from going further into the South Side, just to be completely honest.
Isn't she an integral figure for the Park Ridge Center?
Oh, most definitely, because she basically helped organize that. The Park Ridge Center, if you go back in the day, used to be called the Carver Center.
Okay.
Okay, and Miss Dorsey was integral in regards to helping organize what is now known as Park Ridge Center.
Okay.
Okay.
Who's Park Ridge? Who's Park Ridge?
Now that I don't know. I don't know who Park Ridge is. I don't know if that's a person or a symbol. I don't know, but I'm assuming.
Why isn't it Dorsey? Why isn't it the Dorsey Community Center?
It should be.
I mean, I'm just throwing that out here right now because I'm really
Maybe
feeling kind of specific.
People remember her name and don't call her out of her name. How about that? I'm just asking. Because
as we come closer to really what we're dealing with here, because we're not just here to talk about the history of Maddie Dorsey or any other superior warrior queen that we've had in Washtenaw County, Ann Arbor, Ypsilanti, at large, Milan. Milan's been densely populated with Black folks for years.
Very much so.
And we don't get the credit for our ancestors and even our elders who are still amongst the living. But when we hear degrading things, see, I guess my problem is I don't know when to quit. That's been a big issue of mine all my life. I don't know when to quit. And I know that Ipsy didn't invite me here. I get it. So anybody that's got any problem, and I done seen some Ipsy folks pop up in here. So if y'all got a problem with what I'm going to say tonight, have a problem with it. Because Ipsy didn't invite me up in here tonight. I'm born and raised in Ann Arbor.
I was born at Byers Hospital. Okay, the old Byers Hospital where Villa is right now, the old one across the street from the Bariatric Treatment Center. That's where I was born. So I was born in Ipsy. I wish somebody would have something to say tonight.
So so I'm vetted for the night. But what I'm here to talk about is I saw something that came across as literally as a stream, and I didn't quite understand how our ancestors got roped into it, because it started out as something that looked like it was going to be amongst some Caucasus individuals, and they were choosing to rename some historical figures from the Ypsilanti area, from the Washtenaw County area, and they felt like they needed renaming. They needed new monikers. And it only came across our situation was because they came for one of ours. We didn't really even hear about a lot of this at first, but then once they came for one of ours, it was a situation like nobody really said anything. Sounded like them Negroes back in the 60s that said the Aunt Jemima thing wasn't so bad.
Urban renewal too. Some of them said they were happy for urban renewal. Yeah, go ahead. We can sell our buildings, and we've been in since 1947 and get some money. It's
And
always,
then what? Then what you
always
got?
accumulators. It's always folks that will sell their own race out for a little bit of crumbs. You have always had it.
So it brings me, and we've had a lot of this. And I'm not going to blame a politician. I'm not going to blame a president. I'm not going to blame a ruler, a dictator on any of it. What I am going to blame is privilege.
Mm-hmm.
And privilege of being able to talk freely without any repercussions, without any consequences. And that's happened a lot in Washtenaw County through my lifetime, through your lifetime, happened before we got here, and will probably happen after we leave. But at least while we're here, we're going to make sure it subsides a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We got to let that privilege know that we ain't them 61 Negroes that said the pancakes was okay, that said urban renewal was okay. We ain't them Negroes, okay? The Negroes we are is, you come for our elders, you come for our ancestors, you better have your Adidas on. You better be ready to run. Because see, at this point, it's so disrespectful, because I sent you the post, how it's been defended. This isn't just the thinking of Annie Somerville.
I couldn't believe that. I'm going to get into that. I just want to bring up a couple other points about her history.
Sure.
That is very, very important.
And before you do that, let me just run this.
Yep.
I just did the short one that time, just because we need to get that in there so people understand the context of this. I came prepared tonight with my audio, with my petty ass audio. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, okay. So we know about the urban renewal fight, right? Basically, they knocked down over 160, about 150, 160 homes. Now, meantime, the promise was they were going to build those houses back, right?
Oh, they're going to build back better?
Yeah. So basically, it didn't get built back better. They built two houses. They built two houses. And then the churches and basically activists had to come together in order to force, including Miss Dorsey, force their hand to build what is now called Hamilton Crossing, that used to be, and that's what we used to call it, Perry School Apartments, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know this history as well. Now, when they forced their hand to build Perry School Apartments, or Park Ridge Apartments, if you want to call them that, they also put another stipulation on that. These activists, Ms. Dorsey, these activists, these church groups, these nonprofits, they said they needed to be co-ops. And why did they need to be co-ops? Is because that way, that would allow for people to take some of the money that they were paying for their monthly lease in the townhouses, right, and be able to be used to save at interest for when they decided to move out and buy a home, they could do so. A lot of people do not know that was a promise inside of Park Ridge Apartments. How do I know? My grandparents were the first people to move over there. My grandparents at 519 Perry Street.
So it was a legitimate stair-step program to home ownership.
Exactly.
And was this known throughout, or was it more of a don't ask, don't tell thing?
Right. I mean, once the whole thing happened with Park Ridge, basically in the early, might say mid 2000s, also the first decade, also the early part of the tens, if you want to go there. Most people didn't know. So when the townhouses started falling apart, it was like, oh, what did happen, right? People didn't know that the management company that made that promise basically took that money and ran. So, it's so much. So then basically when you had some of the residents hanging on literally with boards around them, including my uncle, right? Because my grandparents were deceased at that point, hanging on with boards around them saying, hey, if you gonna do or tear this down or redo it, you gonna have to make us whole. That's what it was about. That's why some of those people hung on in their places. A lot of folks didn't know that.
Wow. So as people vacated and they had, the units were boarded up and just going under because they weren't being taken care of, nobody knew about that initial thing. Like, where was our political leadership at? I mean, why weren't they saying anything?
Well, you know, when I forgot the former mayor, I can't remember his name. He was a mayor in like late 2000s, in first decade, 2000, 2010. I went to a city council meeting myself. And I went on behalf of my uncle because my uncle was getting elderly at that point. And so I spoke about the promise. That was the first time some of them that was sitting on the city council ever heard it. I got the notice of the promise from my grandparents and my uncle. That's how I found out. And I'm like, wait a minute, you're not going to kick my uncle out. We're going to make him whole. You want to do something? You want to give him something? Give him some Section 8, wherever he moves to, you're going to have to do something because it's not right.
He's past he's past his profitable years. These are his golden years. He's not out earning money anymore. He can't go, you know, qualify for a residence. He's elderly now, fixed income, you know.
Right.
Oh, geez.
Okay. I'm saying cooperative. Miss Dorsey had a cooperative store. People in the community bought, might as well say, shares inside of her store on Jefferson Street. A lot of people didn't know this. This is what her mind worked that way, right? It was all about uplifting the community. It was all about basically standing up for the community. It was about making sure that wrong was called out to be wrong and was right was done right. And that's what people need to understand. And that's why this is so important. When she won that race, she won it by 67 votes. In other words, people didn't want her in that seat. Also, you also have to know that she was also the first African-American female, even though she wasn't successful, to run. It's kind of ironic that we're talking about District 6 and the city council seat. I'm sorry, a county commission seat. She was the first African-American female to run for the Washtenaw County Board of Commissioners. She did not win, but she won. She ran. This is in the 1970s.
Wow.
Right.
So,
and
I guess I get frustrated
about a county, a person that wants to be county commissioner. Like, are you serious? I'm gonna hold off until we get to that point. So one more story I want to share, and this is something I know because I remember this clearly. Back in the early 70s, this is mid 70s. The kids, early mid 70s, the kids on the South Side. Ironically, if you lived on the South Side, you didn't have. If you were trying to go to Ipsy High School from Ipsy Public Schools, you didn't have a bus. So in other words, other people have buses, but they didn't have buses. So they would have to walk across Michigan Ave, snow, ice. It was really snowy back then. And go to school. Well, my mother and my father and Miss Dorsey was like, that ain't gonna work. So they basically organized a petition drive, and they went all in the winter, went door to door, right, in order to get people to sign this petition to take it to the Ypsilanti Community School Board meeting in order to say, get these kids a bus. What are we doing? What is this? What is it? Separate but so-called equal? I mean, really?
They went as far as they could.
Yeah, and
they went as far as they could.
I remember when I was a little kid and I'm talking about this, and in Miss Dorsey's living room. Like, I still have the memories. So I don't know why. And She was also a part of the Historical Society. So it's a straight up abomination that the Historical Society will allow for this to be done by a volunteer of the Historical Society. Hello, she was a member of the Ypsilanti Historical Society. I'm sorry, Mr. Nichols, get that straight ASAP. That volunteer needs to go.
Yeah, she's not only a member, she's a pillar of it. She's a pillar of the Ypsilanti Historical Society. You can't really have real history in the city of Ypsilanti, especially when you start talking about Black Americans. Now, if Caucasian people want to talk about their history, then she probably won't come up. You'll want to ignore her accomplishments. But when you talk about Black American history in the city of Ypsilanti, she's not just a volunteer to the Historical Society, she's a pillar of it.
Well, that's a damn shame. I'm going to basically put it out there. That's a damn shame. Yep, I said it. It's a damn shame.
So we've got this situation here. Because I see this little smart mouth behavior out here, you know, with the youngins. Mm-hmm. They think they can say everything that they hear on a record or see in a movie, hear in a movie or on a TV show or some reality series. And I'm sorry, but one thing that you can't do, you can't LOL and LMAO and, you know, FOH your way out of this lifetime with me. You got to speak in complete sentences, complete paragraphs, and every goddamn thing. Because, see, I have a problem with all this acronym language anyway. Mm-hmm. For one, the smartphones are finishing words for people. They they letting you know whether you got bad grammar or not. That's not really teaching people the way we need to teach.
That is correct.
And also, the way things are, people are getting put in positions before they're properly vetted, before they're properly taught the chain of protocol.
Oh, most definitely the chain of protocol. Yes.
Annie Somerville, because I don't know her personally, but I know enough about her at this point that I can say she definitely is that new generation voice.
Is that supposed to be the YLO generation? I heard that it's a little hashtag or something about YLO, YOLO. Is that it? Is that them? I don't know.
I get caught up in all them hashtags and acronyms and everything. I know she's a big supporter of the LGBTQIAP. I know she is a big supporter of BLM. I know she is a big supporter of a lot of acronym groups. But see, what I need her to understand is you can be a supporter, you can be an advocate, you can run in parades and chant and do the cha-cha slide and all these. None of that matters to me until you come for one of ours wrongfully.
Exactly.
And when you come for one of ours wrongfully, we have to first stop you, because we're not going to be in attack mode here. This is not, we're two intelligent people. Well, at least there's one intelligent person on this stream. I'm going to say I'm intelligent, so I'll give us two.
Thank you.
We've got two
intelligent. Yes.
We've got two intelligent people on this stream that I believe can handle this in an adult-like fashion. And I felt the need to bring this out because, for one, I haven't seen the outrage that I thought I would have seen from the Black American collective in the city of Ypsilanti. And I know I see you on Facebook, y'all. I see you on Twitter, y'all. I see you on IG. Y'all out here watching all this other stuff. How come y'all ain't been watching what Annie's been doing? Because Annie been running wild. Annie's been running so wild to the point where it got us to the point where Monica and I talked a little bit earlier, and I was like, well, we probably need to talk about this, but not just amongst us. We need to put this back out there. And you saw one thing. I was sent some other stuff from 21.
Oh, well, I mean, if I can get just a quick, pray for me, point of privilege. Whew, okay, all right, I'm ready, and I'm going to still touch on it. Right.
So Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? So Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie?
I just had to give us our Woosah moment.
I
Sorry.
really love Michael Jackson, and honestly, this is a shame that his song has to be used in this way. But
But Michael was a writer, so he knows. He wouldn't let nobody talk shit about Miss Dorsey or anybody else, because we got some other people that have been edified, that have been dragged, as I would have to say.
yeah, he was from Gary, Indiana, so don't take Michael for just
don't take that one glove lightly.
don't do it.
Mm-mm.
So being okay, I want to talk about the waiting your turn. I know this is something that YOLO generation don't understand. So I'm just gonna check that right now.
Mm-hmm.
There is a point to waiting your turn. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
waiting your turn is basically respect, which is something else that YOLO generation don't understand. It is about respect, right? You respect your elders, which is another term that they don't understand. It's just like that register in their head. That's what we're brought up with. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Miss, you made sure that you said miss as in regards to whoever the elder you were speaking to. You respected your elders, right? Your elders didn't have to be all right all the time, but in the same aspect, you respected them anyway because they had the wisdom and knowledge that you did not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I want to put that or do not even today. So
Mm-hmm.
when I put that in that context, what I'm seeing is that I see and I have seen, and I don't know what has happened the last 2 years. I mean, I've been very disconnected. I've been trying to do my business, and I haven't, I didn't even hear of this post until 3 weeks ago, because if I would have heard of it before 3 weeks ago, I would have told Annie in her face. But I mean, I'm one of those people, right? I know folks like, oh my God, this is how she's not elected and all. No, I'm not. And so I'm the person that will come to your face and ask you, why did you do something? And I'm
Right.
you come to her face. I'm going to wait until the city council meeting. So yeah.
Absolutely. I believe that is the 9th. Is that
Yes,
correct?
it is. I'm coming, Annie. Okay, I don't know if
Schedule cleared.
you're not
Schedule cleared.
coming.
Schedule cleared.
To the city council meeting. So this is critically important, right? Because when you have no respect, that's when you think you can go and get away with stuff like this and nobody's going to right check you. When you have no respect for the path that has been laid before you, right? Point blank, period. Now, in my aspect, I don't want, I'll say this. I've been elected before. I didn't run for a certain position because I was asked from the person that was in that position in 2012, Jean Hawker, not to run for her seat. You know what I did? I waited. You want to know why I waited? It's because I would respect. Because she basically was laying, and so I don't stump on her legacy. That's what you do,
Right.
okay? And so when 2016 came around, I ran. I mean, I was young. I had time. So, I mean, hello. Nowadays, these YOLOs or YOHOs or whatever, I don't know what they are. They feel like they can go and basically go and take their hand and go back, right? And grab somebody and basically just use that somebody for whatever it is that's in their head at that point.
We saw that with the presidential, and we don't want to go local to national, but we saw that with the presidential election when the now vice president, the first Black woman vice president, who is now the top Asian American, I don't know exactly how all that works out, but she tried to use Ruby Bridges. She tried to use Betty Shabazz. She tried to use Coretta Scott King. She tried to use Rosa Parks. She tried to use all of the people. Shirley Chisholm. She tried to use them all. Fannie Lou Hamer. She tried to use them all. And then when she gets into the vice presidency, we ain't heard her since.
I mean,
we ain't heard none of them names since.
Figure it out. Like what? You use them. Why ain't you? so when this abomination, I'm keep calling it that because it's what it is. When this abomination was brought upon me, the anger, yes, I'm saying that word because Black women can be angry. If anybody got a problem with that, sorry, go deal with your problem yourself.
Right.
The anger that came up in me was so large, okay? Because, and this is why it was so large, because without Miss Dorsey laying the pathway, I wouldn't have been where I was from 2016 to 2020, or when I was previously elected the park commissioner from 2012 to 2016. It wouldn't have happened. Someone has to lay a pathway for me. So I uphold her, and also Queen Ethel Howard, who was the first Black elected full-time official in Ypsilanti Township.
Yeah.
We have to make sure our children, our young folks know this history because it's important. Because it's important, right? I didn't know Miss Howard, but I can tell you one thing, she was from West Willow. And you know what? I admire her in the early 1990s. For running for clerk of a township that had deed restriction covenants. I mean,
Right.
At that point in time. So we need to make sure that we know our history so we don't basically disregard it. So back to this word that was used about Miss Dorsey. And then I'll let you have the mic. I'm going to basically time frame this. Miss Dorsey died early 1990s, and one of the things that this word that was used had the gall and the nerves and the just to be put on top of her frontal article. She was remembered.
Yeah, when I saw it was actually the obit, that I was like, so you didn't even go find a picture of her in action. You didn't even go find her working. You used her death notice to make this detrimental statement. I mean, we're already reliving the grief by looking at her death notice. Yes, we celebrate her history, we celebrate her legacy, but we're looking at her death notice all while we have to read this filth.
It was the most craziest thing, and I don't even know I don't even know how to justify justification but you also have to.
I'm gonna leave you alone. I'm being petty.
That's okay. So Miss Dorsey obviously was a child of the early, if you want to go there, whether we're in the 22nd century now, I guess we're 21st century. So the early 20th century, which means that in the South, in Louisiana, where she was born, it was a two-tier society for real. Okay, there's no telling what Miss Dorsey seen. Okay, what she had to experience being a Black woman, trying to not only improve her education, which she did, but basically just live as a Black woman during that time. I know we have civil rights history. We ain't gonna go there because I'm serious. Just put that to the shelf because Black women had to raise children. Black women had to fight to be respected, to make sure that they wasn't just being treated as the maids that can go and wash your clothes. Oh, better yet, go do the dishes. Or better yet, even in the South, even in those times, go pick cotton still.
I was gonna say she was 90, right, when she died?
Yeah, she was 90, so she's seen a lot. So
she absolutely picked cotton.
She's seen a lot.
She absolutely endured what a lot of enslaved people endured. There just wasn't the legal stamp put on it. I mean, she endured that well before she came north. She endured so much living
north. Looking for some, a lot of people came north like, let me just try and get a little bit of relief. I mean, seriously. So in that time frame, Black women, as they were trying to uplift themselves, were called derogatory names all the time.
Absolutely.
Usually by people of the lighter persuasion when it happened. Okay? So, guys, we got to put that time frame in to know that even when she died and when she passed and ascended to the queenship of heaven, even then, she would not have been called a derogatory name. So you can't take your time period of right now and just basically erase what previously happened. It doesn't happen like that. History is history, and that has to be respected.
And Luke,
okay, you can't just basically say, "Oh, well, I'm sure she would have been okay." No, she wouldn't have been okay with it.
No, she wouldn't. No, she wouldn't. And this is what the youth doesn't understand. Just because the language has been loosened does not mean that the reverence needs to be lowered. And I know that they allow kids to talk differently, young people to talk differently. And I've seen conversations in between young people and elderly people. And I'm tripping at how some of these conversations happen. Like, it's not even a fashionable thing for young people to say yes, sir, and no, ma'am, or yes, ma'am, and no, sir anymore. I see young people calling elderly people by their first name. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong here?
As you notice, I keep saying Miss Dorsey because it's ingrained in me, because that's how my parents raised me.
Absolutely.
I'm not calling her Maddie. Yeah, I'm not doing that because that was disrespect. You don't call an elder by her first name.
It's not even something, even in death, we don't lower ourselves to call her by her first name.
No. If
we say her first name, we say the whole name.
The whole name is,
or we're gonna say Miss Dorsey.
Yep, the whole name.
But you don't call her name. You don't call her by her first name.
Or her daddy gave her. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go here. Annie, you didn't have no rights to call her any other name than what her mama and daddy gave her.
Period. And I guess we're going to jump a little bit, because I saw something and I shipped it to you that said, we're taking back the word. And I'm sorry.
What word?
But I didn't know that you would want to take back a negative term and try to flip it and make it positive, because that's just what Black people have been accused of, taking the word nigger and flipping it and empowering themselves with it. Because my thing is, like I told you before, I use the word. I absolutely use the word. But I use the word amongst my people, and I don't allow nobody that's not my people to use it around me. Now, I know some of y'all in Washtenaw County got some Caucasian friends, and y'all allow y'all Caucasian friends to call y'all nigga in y'all conversation. Y'all some coon-ass niggas, I already told you. But that motherfuckers that do that, they never do it around me. They never do it around, because that's not a term that a Caucasian person can do around me. Well, but I know some of y'all allow y'all friends to do that, so that's okay.
If you really want to be real, the B word is fighting words in my generation.
This is what I thought. I thought that was like earrings off, Vaseline on the face.
Earrings off. Okay, I'm kicking off my shoes. I'm getting ready to go. Right? Hey, quiet as cat. I almost lost my job. I was working in Department of Corrections, and I worked at the female prison at that point. And one of the female prisoners called me a B, and they had to grab me back, and I had to actually go back to the male prison because it wasn't good for me there. I'm serious.
And it's a fighting word.
I did. That's why I left. I went right back to the male. Like, at least if they called me a B, I'm gonna be like, okay, but if it's a female call me a B.
Yeah. You're really wondering, like, okay, am I going left hook first, right cross? I mean, what am I doing? All that, unless there's somebody trying to do something wrong to you. That's what we're known. When you hear that word, That's what it's known for. And now we're experiencing somebody who's trying to tell me or tell you or tell us that they trying to celebrate one of our queens
I don't even know what that is.
by calling them a bitch.
Let me go and if I can take another point of privilege. See, Miss Somerville
Please.
has a boss, and I said this on my podcast. Miss Somerville has a boss. Her boss is Jeff Irwin. He is a state senator last time I checked for this area.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, I can be honest, and let me tell you something. Okay, I'm gonna basically break this down. I've managed people most of my career, honestly. You know, I managed people. Okay, if this would have happened to any of my subordinates when I was a manager, they would have been dealt with, and it would have been, you know, I mean, sorry, we're gonna talk about this, and it is not gonna be a nice talk, right?
One of the things that I saw, I'm gonna let you continue because I need you cooking. But I saw an endorsement from Irwin on this.
Yeah, I did see that. I'm still trying to figure out. You know, I'm gonna go here. Don't say it didn't happen, Jeff. Are you still trying to get food stamps for everybody on the eastern side of Washington County? Are you still trying to do that? Remember that conversation that we had at Tropical Cafe when you asked me for your an endorsement in 2017 in your state senate race, and you basically told me one of the things that you felt like was a trophy or some sort was because you increased food stamps for people on the eastern side of Washington County. Don't say you didn't say it because you did. And I basically said, really?
Food stamps?
Yeah, food stamps, EBT cards. And I said, really? I said, you consider that to be an accomplishment? I don't. Because everybody on the south side, everybody on the eastern side of Washington County don't have food stamps. If you really want to increase and uplift, you're going to have to do a lot more than just that.
Why didn't he help the people on the eastern side of Washington County get into a stair-step program to homeownership?
I don't know.
So they want to give us a few more dollars on the EBT card so we can go buy some more processed foods to die on.
I mean, you know, and I mean, seriously. So when I saw, it was like, yeah, go call a historical African-American female. Like, yeah, all right, cool, right, Jack? You good? You a boss though, right? So, I mean, aren't you a boss? So, Jeff, aren't you a boss? So, I guess my question is, where in the world did you talk to people? I don't know who you talked to. Did you actually talk to anybody that actually knew Miss Dorsey? I don't know if you know, I mean, I'm talking about actually knew. She has relatives still inside the area. Did you call
Give
her?
me one quick second. I just got a text message that our video is scrambled. If anybody else is seeing this, please let me know. It says that we're scrambled, so I want to make sure that we are not scrambled. Is anybody else experiencing audio or video difficulty? Please let me know, because if I need to restart this, I'll restart it. Because we don't want, I mean, I should have a decent signal. Hold on one.
It's decent to me. I don't know. I'm not saying anything.
We should have a decent signal.
Yeah, Frida says it's crystal clear here. So
no issue on audio. No issue with audio on Facebook. Just now the video. Okay. So, well, I already told you I got a face for radio. So as long as they can hear us, we good. We good.
Okay. I'm glad to hear that people can hear, but yeah, I mean, I'm serious. Like, okay, I don't, you know, she still has relatives in the area. Like, why didn't you reach out to them and see what they thought? I mean, come on now. I mean,
whoa. Miss Dorsey still has living descendants here?
Yep.
Huh. And nobody consulted with them before she was inducted into. Have we actually said the full term yet? Because I don't want to jump the shark.
I'm gonna say it, but it hurts my heart. I'm gonna make sure I separate it because I have to. Um, it's like if you getting ready to get into a fight with somebody and then somebody call you bitch or a bad bitch, or you think you bad bitches. Yep.
Oh, bad bitches. So basically, we now know our ancestral legends in Ypsilanti, our historical legends, the one who paved this county for Black Americans, Black American women, but Black Americans in general to walk safely, gain resources, do all types of shit around here. We now acknowledge them as bad bitches.
Not me.
Well, not me either,
Mhm.
but I have a sense of respect, and I have one of the foulest mouths in 3 counties, but I would never, ever fix my mouth to say anything regarding any of these women that we've talked about, that we could talk about, that we know about. I mean, you ain't got an elder on your side or an ancestor on your side that you'd call a bad bitch. I know good and well I ain't crazy enough to even think that I could call Louise Philpott, that I could call Ida Covington, that I could call Annie B. Rari a bad bitch. We talking about my grandmamas and my mama.
Well, I mean, I can definitely say I could not call Lena Mae Houston Ross. First, I wouldn't have got the word out of my mouth without having my teeth basically put on the ground.
I mean, we talking we talking concussive behavior here.
It would definitely been a concussion. Mm-hmm.
And all our mamas had a cast iron skillet.
Mm-hmm.
If we'd have said that, we should have just ran towards the skillet because the skillet was coming.
Pretty much, I was going to run out the house and keep running and hope she didn't catch up with me, and didn't come back. So, I mean, that was. I'm serious. It's that serious. So, it's like I don't. When I saw this extra information that you sent me, it was just infuriating. We have, excuse my French, white women. Yes, I called you because that's what you were. White women sitting over here talking about, I don't think it's that bad. Shout out to Ryan Griffin, by the way. Ryan, thank you for standing up. Thank you for standing
Now,
up.
is it?
Thank you.
I put the fair use stuff up there so we can use some of this stuff. I put the fair use up here because when I saw some of this stuff here, hold on a second. I know I sent it to you.
Yep.
Here, hold on a second. We're gonna get out of this.
And
Oh Lord.
I'm trying to figure out why those white women was trying to gaslight him. Please put that up.
So
I still called you white. Yes. Yes, Jeanette. I know you. Really? I know you. I don't know this Julie Palmer woman, but I definitely know Jeanette Rook. I'm sorry, I know you. Like, really?
So, and this was December 5th, 2021. I've decided to start a series on the historical bad bitches of Ypsilanti. And she started it with Estelle Downey. And then she incorporated some of ours. Ryan kicked back and said, in a poor way, you're trying to connect to the hip hop community. Now, I don't know why that people always try to come to us as Black folks.
Please stop it.
I mean, we know we Black. They know we Black. But why are you always trying to come to us Black? Just come to us the way you are. Just be white.
I'm going to die Black, like my daddy used to tell me. You know what I'm saying? My daddy was from Arkansas. You was born Black, you going to die Black. You better be proud of being Black.
Just be proud of that. Just be proud of that. He said, you should understand that even the most detrimental music that sometimes comes with the art, women from the generation of Coretta Scott King, Betty Shabazz, Merle Evers, Rosa Parks, and others were never considered bitches. He said this He said this because we know it to be true. I ain't never heard nobody call Coretta Scott King a bad bitch.
Mm-mm.
Betty Shabazz?
Mm-mm.
Murray Evers?
Mm-mm.
Mamie Till?
No.
Fannie Lou Hamer?
Oh, better
Come
not.
on now. Ain't nobody ever called them bad bitches.
Mm-mm.
And right here in Ypsilanti, I'd love to see you present an award to Pastor Waddles celebrating one of the past active members as a bad bitch in front of his congregation. It's
Can I
always appreciated.
please? Just because you go to a black church one time or two or three, don't think that you are down with the team. Okay, I'm sorry. I have to go here. You'll read about it. He gonna tell you. Go ahead.
It is always appreciated to educate, highlight, and celebrate, but it must be done respectfully, especially when you don't understand the culture. Maybe you should have asked a black peer if you may be being disrespectful. I'm sure you would have gotten an answer. But what we know, she may have asked some of these folks because we got endorsements on the post by some Negroes. Mayor Pro Tem Nicole, she saluted this. She saluted the bad bitchness.
No, she didn't. No, don't do that. Don't tell me she did that. No.
She saluted this. She gave her a pass, and that's also a co-council member. So she had a double chance to say something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna basically speak briefly. And I know people, had issues with what Beth Bashir said, right? I'm going back to like, what is this? Now we're in 2022, so this is early 2020, 2019. I know people have issues with what Beth Bashir said at that city council meeting. And
that fake outrage? You mean that fake outrage they had?
Yep, I got it. Yep. And honestly, I know Beth. She called me not too long after that happened. Like, Monica, what should I do? I'm like, you should apologize. And she did. She tried to apologize. And for that apology, basically, people, and this is what they did. They called her job to get her fired. She ended up having to leave that job. Basically, they protested in front of her house. Yep, they did that too. They called her phone repeatedly, talking about some crazy stuff at that point. You know what I'm saying? And that's why she felt compelled to resign, right?
And let me ask you this.
One of these people that we talking about right now, Annie Somerville, led that charge. So I guess Annie Somerville feels like it's okay if somebody possibly said some racist stuff inside of a meeting. I mean, I'm just saying, because Beth basically said she was wrong. So, okay, she may have toted the line of racism inside of that meeting, and she said she was wrong about it. Okay?
I was going to ask you where Annie was and all that. So Annie led the brigade.
In the brigade, basically leading the charge, carrying the flag, stepping if you want to go there. You know what I'm saying? Going, whoo, whoo, hey, it's on me. I got this.
Freeway Waddlesworth. Okay. So, and what I know, Annie is a big advocate of the LGBTQIAP. And from what I know, Beth is a member.
Yes.
So she turned against her friend. She turned against her mayor. She turned against someone that she advocates for because she was looking for that political move. That was her time.
Yeah. I mean, it was advantageous. If you look there, you got advantageous. Beth basically, her mouth, look, Beth, I know you may be watching them. I'm going to say your mouth kept running, right? And sometimes our mouth runs and things come out of it, right? That's what happened. And so with that, I guess, Miss Somerville was over in the corner like, yep, I'm going to take this charge because, I care about my Black community. Sorry, it's not yours. I care about the Black community. And so with that, I'm just going to go and take this charge for the Black community because I am such a caring person. I'm going to put this on check too. You know what? Black lives have been mattering since we were born. Black lives have been mattering since there were slaves. Black lives have been mattering since basically people were coming over at the bottom of a boat in their own feces. So please save me with that.
You mean Black Lives Mattered before there was yellow paint?
Yes. They always matter. My life always have mattered. My mama's life mattered. My daddy's life mattered. My grandfather's life mattered. My grandmother's life mattered. My great grandmother and great great grandfather and great 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 grandfather. Yes, I know who all those people were. Lives matter. So please, I didn't need a symbol or a shirt. And a damn show doesn't need anything on a street to basically let me know my life matter.
You know what the problem is with that? And I cut it down every time I have to talk about it. They put the goddamn Black Lives Matter in the wrong block. You already know what block that the Black Lives Matter in Ipsy's supposed to be. And I ain't talking about the one down in the park. I'm talking about the one up on Washington Street.
Frederick Douglass spoke on the other side of the street.
Y'all hear that?
From Bobcat Bonnie's.
Y'all hear that? Who spoke? Who spoke, Monica?
Frederick Douglass spoke on the other side of the street, kitty corner to Bobcat. Like if you go right across the street from the side of Bobcat Bonnie's, he was over there.
But they made y'all hide the Black Lives Matter sign on the south side of Washington.
Which is ironic because it's over by the drive-through. I don't know, a lot of people know that it used to, you know, on the corner store, that used to be a drive-through, right? It used to be like you open up the garage door and people used to go through and actually go get, you know, their liquor, right? That was, you know, honestly, if they didn't go there, they went to Button Joe's. Button Joe's actually used to be owned by black men before Steve bought it. Right, Steve was a Chaldean, and Steve, I love Steve. Right, he bought Button Joe's from basically the two black men, and that's what you have now. Steve supported the South Side big time, so I will always make sure Steve is upheld on that. Right,
awesome.
So meanwhile, between time, that's what I'm saying. It's like that was either it's Button Joe's or you went to drive-through, right? So that was like the liquor spot. I mean, that's where people drove through to get their liquor. I mean, the garage is closed now, but they just go in the door and go get their liquor. So, you know, so it's like, huh? What is that? Is that where it should be? I don't know.
Well, wait a minute. If you think about it.
On the corner, you got the tap room. I mean, what is the symbolic symbols there? I mean, trust me, I love Starks now. Starks is good. They have a tone, right, for what was previous. But if you go back in history,
that was a funeral home that wouldn't even service black folks.
I'm just saying. So I mean, but Starks is good now. My dad has funeral at Starks. They have a tone. They have came up with the times. Okay, so I'm just putting this out there. I'm not dogging Starks, but in the same aspect, I mean, do you know your history when you do things? You know, are you just basically just plotting yourself in and trying to, I don't freaking know what's up. You know, if you're going to do it, please make sure you understand.
One of the things that I have not liked has been and I know times change and people move in and out of the territory, but I have not liked the fact that they've allowed transients to come in. And when I call them a transient, it's a person that has moved in here that didn't grow up here, and they've basically ingratiated themselves into our community. And I don't like how they allow them to align themselves. I learned this from a young brother a couple years ago, Karan, and Karan says there's occupants and there's residents and there's citizens of Ipsy. He was like, everybody doesn't become a citizen. He was like, a lot of people become residents, but most people are just occupants. And it made a lot of sense to me when he first said it, which is dangerous because I usually got to think on some stuff before I really understand it. Probably part of the attention deficit and just too much information stored, right? But that made sense to me. And I see a lot of occupants making a lot of decisions around Ipsy. I see a lot of residents making a lot of decisions around Ipsy. But where are the citizens of Ypsilanti
Well, I mean, we used to have, and it's kind of ironic. Yeah, I'm gonna go here too. I know some people is gonna be mad at me after I finish this today with you.
No, this my post. And if they want to comment, they need to come on in here and say something now.
Yeah.
If not, they can come back, because I'm gonna be laying for comments in YAD and every other Ipsy page and the Ann Arbor Politics pages on my timeline, on your timeline. I'm gonna be laying for y'all. Because if you got anything adverse to say about what we're saying here, you ain't really for us anyway.
Yeah, I always, you say it to my face. So, I'm that type of person. Look,
Keep your earrings on.
folks did not, some of these folks never, they didn't know who I was. Like when I was elected, I was doing a job for people, and so that's what I did. But you really didn't know me, right? And I'll tell you straight up, you didn't know me. You begin to know me now, but you really didn't know me. My job was to do the job for the people. That's what I did. That's what I got paid to do. That's what I did. I wasn't doing the job for my ego. I was doing the job for the people. So we're gonna get back. So, like, Miss Dorsey was also a member of the NAACP, right? That is the Ipsy Rilla Run branch of the NAACP. She was a member. She was a dues-paying member of the NAACP of the Ipsy Rilla Run branch, the branch that used to be ran by. Let me make sure I have the names right, because it takes me a minute. Sharon Newton Glenn, right? And then also, make sure I have his name right. He's an attorney. Oh, Mr. Raymond Mullins. And also, Mr. Chauncey. He used to run it. Okay. Raymond Chauncey, right? I just kicked some names. Don't tell me I don't know my Ipsy. Okay. Because I just kicked you 3 names right there that used to run the NAACP.
So this is actually when the Color People's Organization, as I call them now, this is when they were actually really active.
That's when it was really active.
This is when, yeah. This is when if something happened to you, the NAACP would do something right then.
Oh yeah, they didn't just basically tell you to go and pray on it. No, they actually did something about it. So okay, so we're gonna move forward. I'm sorry, did I miss some? Because I could have sworn, if I have it correct, there is something that's called the NAACP of Ypsilanti Rilla Run branch. I don't know if they meet currently. If I have it correct, and I'm just gonna say it, Mr. Tucson is a leader.
Currently?
Yeah, Lee Tucson is a leader.
I don't see. The thing is, I stopped following them back in 1991 when Fred McQuiston was the president over in Ann Arbor's branch, and I was harassed by these cops, and I was told to go over there and talk to him. He told me to go up to the police department.
Oh, wow. And so, okay, so we got this thing that has been
I fucked with them in 31 years.
Yeah, it's been around for months about Miss Dorsey being called out of her name. And so, yep, I'm going here too. So, Miss Brown, your dad or sub-dad, don't he run the...
I was just about to say, I was kind of tied. That's his daughter. The one that saluted this bad bitch shit. Oh, come on now. Come on now. What type of political genocide are we causing here?
I can't.
So are you trying to tell me that she would come up with the term bad bitch for Mrs. Dorsey, take it to her dad and say, I'm thinking about starting this historical society for all these historical legends, these black women in our history. You remember Mrs. Dorsey, right? Yeah. She's going to be my first bad bitch. You trying to tell me that Mr. Tucson would roll with that?
I don't know. I mean, because this post has been around for months. So basically it came to me 3 weeks ago. So I'm trying to figure out, why is there not accountability? Why has not been accountability? Why? Why? Is it people basically don't want to be accountable because they're too busy worried about their political career? Is that it? Because I can tell you right now, if I would have still been in my seat, that I was in 2020, it wouldn't have made a difference. I would have asked for accountability. And I'm in Ipsy Township, right?
Right.
I would ask for accountability because that's who I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to, I'm so worried about, it's an election. Am I going to get back in? You ain't guaranteed these jobs. You're not guaranteed these jobs.
Let's clarify.
It is not a carpet for you to have for life. I'm sorry if you felt otherwise, right? Let me check you on that. It's not a carpet for you to have for life. I'm just going to hold on to my seat forever and keep getting paid. No, if that means you lose your seat because you basically said the right thing, you lose your seat because you just basically said the right thing.
I mean, you're in Ipsy Township. I'm in Pittsfield Township. They both classified as Ipsy.
Yeah.
But we ain't talking about geographic location. We're talking about spiritual location.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about lineage location, historical location. And my problem is, and I'm gonna just say, maybe Brother Tucson don't have internet access. Maybe he don't get online like that. Maybe he ain't on Facebook like that. You know, a lot of old black people be like, I ain't online like that. I ain't on Facebook like that. I don't know. I don't know exactly why he hasn't known about this, but I know his daughter do. And are you trying to tell me that she ain't slipped that into a conversation, or this ain't came across his table in some way, shape, or form? Because this started in December, from what I saw. It started in December. Because when she set that post, it must have been the beginning, because she even said, yeah, and I think I'm about doing TikToks.
Yeah, TikToks. Thought that was funny. She did. Yeah, let me do a
She was
TikTok.
serious.
Let me do
Jeff Irwin said, yeah, TikToks. Yeah, TikToks. I'm
yeah,
like, really, Jeff?
Mr. Irwin said that's what the state senator that we currently have, Jeff Irwin. When I said that it needed to be a whole meeting, I meant it. Like, this needed to be a whole meeting. I don't know where it needs to be. Maybe at Park Ridge, maybe just basically inside the Perry School field. You know what I'm saying? Get seat, go up under the pavilion. Let's have it out, because we need to talk about this. And yes, Jeff Irwin, you are her boss. You need to be having a seat in the front, along with Annie Somerville. Y'all can have a seat in the front.
And Annie can bring all her black allies.
Yeah,
I know she got some black allies.
That's gonna be here shaking their head like, yeah, you know what? That was a good thing you said about Miss Dorsey. Yeah, Annie, I'm gonna pat you on the back. No,
I want all the.
We are reinventing the word. You can't reinvent that word. That word is what it is.
Oh no. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. We're gonna go with what they said. Here we go. You said reinvent. I gotta correct you. I ain't gonna correct you much tonight because your ass been spot on all night. Here we go. This is her response to Ryan. I'm sorry. This is not Annie Somerville.
Okay.
Just for context, this is not Annie Somerville. This is one of her enablers named Julie Palmer. Her name is Julie Palmer. Okay. I understand, and I can offer you a very different perspective. Women are reclaiming the word. I am a witness. Now, Monica, did you hear about this? Did you get the memo on reclaiming the word bad bitch?
No, I don't need that word reclaimed.
Okay.
I don't know.
I just wanted to know, because she said women.
See, that's the problem. You know, you have these folks that think they speak for everybody. Stop speaking for everybody. Speak for yourself.
Oh, well, wait a minute. Don't jump the shark, because she says women are reclaiming the word. I am a witness to this truth for all women, regardless of age, regardless of race, regardless of gender identity. What? Hold on. I need to run this by you again. She says, women are reclaiming the word. I am a witness to this truth for all women, regardless of age, regardless of race, and regardless of gender identity.
Didn't she already put women?
Huh?
Didn't she already put women? I know it's an effort to erase women.
Well, she said women. She said regardless of race of women, regardless of age of women.
I'm here too, because I'm sorry. I uphold my God. I believe in my God, and I believe in Genesis, and I believe in Adam and Eve. Okay, sorry. So with that, I know there's an effort to erase women. I know that. I know this is a big thing. Like, yeah, they don't need to be called women. Just call them Women X or something.
No, you are birthing parents now. You
No,
are birth. You are a
I'm
birth.
both
You are a birthing
a
parent.
woman and a
You are
mother.
not a mother.
I'm a mom. I love my kids. I love my and the grandkid that my daughter gave me. Daughter, as in female, as in that's who she is. Pronouns basically is describing a noun. Okay, that's what I grew up with.
And you didn't breastfeed. You were just a milk station.
No, I wasn't that. No.
I mean, the shit that they're coming up with, they're basically trying to say like two people didn't procreate and have a child. It was these two individuals who somehow their bodies stuck together, out came a baby. Neither one of them are parents. They are birthing people.
Yeah,
They are birthing humans.
I know. No, black. Look, it is
You're
not.
gonna be
And I'm just gonna
you,
put it out there because you're trying to get political favor. You know, and I know, I guess what Miss Bush said that at some meeting somewhere, because you're trying to get political favor, because you're trying to make sure that you keep your $175,000 a year salary plus per diem. You know, no, we don't recognize I'm a mother. People who birth children are mothers. I'm sorry.
this
Again, I go back to Genesis, you know, maybe you should read it. I'm sorry, I grew up in church. So basically, I'm going to always have the church in me, and the church ain't coming out.
the first sentence was really insulting, but the last part of this is actually more insulting. So I'm just gonna read read the end of the first, I'm sorry, it was the second sentence. I am a witness to this truth for all women, regardless of age, regardless of race and gender identity. One of the lasting effects of patriarchy is the use of bitch to criticize a woman. Really? One
Patriot?
of the lasting effects of the patriarchy is the use of bitch to criticize women. Now, collectively,
Can you please wait? Did she use patriarchy in the right sentence structure there?
no, no,
I don't think so.
no. What? See, this is the thing. This is the thing. These are the people that don't know the history.
Okay.
They don't know the history, and because they've seen the word bitch used in a derogatory way, and they've seen it used more probably not by even people that look like them, because I know they have, but they try to throw that out and say that they see other people use the word bitch
Ryan,
because
just real quick. I mean, sorry, I called you Ryan, as in Ryan Griffin. Sorry.
okay,
Shannon. Look,
yes,
if you want to go and call you and your friends B, if that's what y'all want to refer to yourselves, that's your first name among yourselves. You know what I'm saying?
right,
That's what you get off on. Is like make you real happy to say, hey, B, how you doing, B?
right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we retake claiming this B. You know what I'm saying? If you want to do that to amongst yourselves and your friends, but don't ever again call our Black historical queens that word.
It's not even appropriate, even if you are trying to put it in the context they think they're putting it in, when she says that they're reclaiming the word. Because I'm sorry, the work that Mrs. Dorsey did, that Mrs. Howard did, and everybody else, Mrs. Robinson, Mr. Robinson was a city councilman. There's
Still
other Black women.
first, and Miss Christina Montague, who still is living, she's in an
Yes,
artist, the first
yes.
Black woman, African American woman on the Washtenaw County City Council, and she served as chair.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Washtenaw County Commission. Make sure I have it correct. Washtenaw
Yes.
County,
Washington County Commission.
and she served as chair. She's still alive. I
So
don't think you better call her no B either.
a bad bee.
No, don't do that. Don't do
A
that.
bad bee.
Don't do that. Don't do
We
that. Don't do that.
we gotta stay with what it is, because that's how disrespectful it
Mhm.
is by calling her a bad bitch. Because I don't believe Mrs. Dorsey would have advocated 1 millisecond to be called a bad bitch.
No.
And she wouldn't have advocated for anybody else that did the work out here in Washtenaw County, Ypsi, Ann Arbor, whatever. She wouldn't have advocated for it. And
yeah, no, she wouldn't have, because you gotta think she was a woman of the church. I know church is kind of like a oxymoron with a lot of these YOLOs or whatever they call themselves right now. Basically, I know.
Are you saying YOLO or yo-hos?
I don't know, YOLO, you know, whatever it is. I know that's an oxymoron. I know y'all don't know what that means, right? Church, what's that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, and I get it. I get it for y'all, not for me. I get it that y'all don't know what it means. That's the problem. That's the problem and the issue, is that y'all don't know what it means, just because of the fact. Now, the church can be within you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can go and just read the Bible and still get church. Right?
Mm-hmm.
The church is within you. So I always want to make sure I correct this, is that the church can be within you because you know the word of God.
Right.
Right? You don't necessarily just have to be in a building in order to get church. Okay? But you understand and you recognize that he died for your sins, so you can continue to live on. Right? So that's what I mean by church. I'm not just saying building. I am also saying what's in your heart. So
this has nothing to do with an edifice. This has nothing to do with an edifice, because we've both been to some shanty churches, and we've been to some mega churches.
Oh, definitely.
And I've heard some of the best words.
Right.
I've heard some of the best words where water was literally dripping from the ceiling and bloop, 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 right next to me.
Right.
Wait a minute. Ain't a cloud in the sky. Well, water is coming out of a pipe right next to me. And I heard one of the best words. Then I've been to a mega church, and really all it was a big ass concert. That's all it was. It was a big ass concert with little interludes of intermissions so they could collect money in the coffers.
Yeah, like choop choop, and give me your money. You know, so basically, if you don't understand the first part, is that God created a man and woman. That basically he took the rib of Adam to create Eve. And if you don't believe that that is true, then basically everything else for you is lost.
I try to tell motherfuckers that all the time. Look, I don't go to church no more. And I know that the Bible is a flawed document. When they took them books out to basically make us a docile people, it became a flawed document. But it was Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. Let's just move the fuck on. It was Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. It ain't never been. It ain't never gonna be. And if we don't believe that, if we don't understand that, I'm not getting caught up in Jesus's skin color and Jesus's foot and Jesus's no. No, Jesus's hair was nappy as a goat ass. That person that they got that looks like Jim Morrison, that don't matter to me. We know Jesus didn't look like that. Jesus' hair was nappy as a goat ass. We know this.
Civilization doesn't begin unless you put Africa in it. Africa is the motherland. Okay, if you don't know that, you better read some history.
Period.
Thank you.
So she said, collectively, women are reclaiming this and using it as an empowering word. I use badass bitch as a celebration of incredible women. You may disagree, but you don't get to decide for us. We will never stop reclaiming this word. So wait a minute.
Isn't the same woman that said she went to Second Baptist, and because she went there, I don't know, once, twice, maybe 3 times, she know about the Black experience, kind of like something like that? Didn't she say that?
Did Julie Palmer say that?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Maybe I ain't read that far yet.
I think
because then it got to a point where
somebody in that tree, somebody said they went to Second Baptist, and it definitely, you know, and they basically know about the Black experience. Pretty much that's what they said, because they went, I don't know, 1 time, maybe, I don't know, 2 times.
I just see, I guess my problem is, I don't know who was preaching that Sunday, but I guarantee if they said badass bitch in any Second Baptist around here,
oh Lord,
any second, I don't know who was preaching that day.
Some of the mothers in the church lose their religion.
Come on now.
Okay, I'm just saying. They're going to lose their
They,
religion for a couple minutes.
they wouldn't have been trying to lay that thing across your legs if your skirt was too short. They'd have put it around your neck.
Mm-hmm.
They'd have drug you up out the sanctuary, and you'd have ended up in the rectory.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There's absolutely no way that you would spout badass bitch
No.
in any black church around here.
Absolutely not. And it's not even funny. It's just real, right? Absolutely not. I dare you to go get in the pulpit of any black church and get up there. I'm talking about in Ypsilanti. You go in Ypsilanti. You get in the pulpit, okay? Go right to the pulpit. First of all, you got to ask for the pastor's permission. Then go to the pulpit if he lets you or she lets you in. And then get up there in the pulpit and say, what you said, Annie Somerville, I sure want to know what's going to be the end result.
I mean, read your whole spiel. Read why you're there. I'm so-and-so. I'm running for this, or I'm a member of this, da-da-dee, da-da-da. And then let them know that you are there to talk about the historical society of Ypsilanti, and you want to introduce Miss Maddie Dorsey as a badass bitch. And I want to see how long you last in that pulpit. I want to see how long you last.
You see, I'm just breathing because I don't know.
It don't even sound right. And I know that this is not a misunderstanding. This is an intrusion because of privilege. They've let these people get up on stages that they should have never got in. They let these people get in lines that they should have never stood in. They let these people fucking paint with brushes that they should have never held. I'm sorry.
You know
but
what?
when I saw the Juneteenth celebration
infiltrated.
infiltrated.
Go right ahead. Because I wasn't, I was still not paying attention. But go right ahead about that Juneteenth. I'm interested.
When I saw the Juneteenth situation infiltrated, and they was up there helping us plan our Freedom Festival. How the fuck you gonna help me plan my Freedom Festival when your people enslaved my people?
Ooh, do they know that Juneteenth is the reason why it exists is because of the simple fact that the slaves were freed and or supposedly freed, as I say, supposedly, right? They were supposedly freed by the Emancipation Proclamation, supposedly, but in Texas, they didn't let them know.
They you know what? They just said, just keep working, just keep working.
Yep,
They're like, we heard some shit.
Just keep picking cotton, keep taking care of my youngins, keep going out there and making the shoes for the horses. Basically, a woman, hey, yeah, you keep coming up there in the middle of the night, that's what they mean. That's what Malcolm X mean about the house in the field. Okay, if you don't know what it means, you better ask somebody because that's real true. All right, you just keep doing that, and we ain't gonna let you know that technically you can leave.
I mean, the crazy thing was that the lock had been on the gate all them years. Maybe they just took the lock off the gate, but because we were socially engineered to the point of knowing that if we did take that chance to leave, we might get killed. Maybe we just stayed. We might have walked by an unlocked gate. Because they weren't telling us to leave. They weren't telling us that we could leave. We might have walked by an unlocked gate. If we ran away.
Yeah.
If we ran away.
Classical conditioning, right? I'm not throwing letters out here, but some of the letters that I have, this is something I've learned. If you are repeatedly given and forwarded the same situation, or if you continue to hear it, it's like Pavlov's, the box with the rat, right? Basically, I'm saying you repeat the situation to the point that it becomes normal for you.
Yeah.
And so even if the gate is wide open and you can go.
Yeah.
Are you sure, Master? Are you sure I can go? I'm not sure if I can go. It may be better here with you, Master. I may want to stay here.
And most people don't understand how we were set free. We weren't set free, and in one hand they gave us $100, and another hand they gave us a key to a new home. They gave us a carriage with a horse on it, and this that.
They burnt
we were just set,
they burnt it down.
We were set free. We were set free with nothing, with no resources, with nothing. Nothing. So the women that survived and ended up building families with those men, those women were badass bitches too.
No, no, they
Those were badass bitches too. 20 years out of slavery, we had women that were teaching school. We had women that were running businesses. 20 years out of slavery. Were those badass bitches?
women, phenomenal. Phenomenal.
And now, you know what? I'm so goddamn tired of black girl magic because they done hijacked that too. They done hijack black girl magic. Anytime something is remotely positive.
I'm tired of 3-sentence words. I'm tired of that.
Yeah.
Hashtag, now I'm tired of that too. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of all of that.
They done got us to the point where we're using a language that we only understand because we've created it. You know, we done broke down somebody his historical value to being a badass bitch. You got a senator who basically has told us, look, I'm doing all I can. I'm gonna get y'all some extra money on your EBT cards. I'm gonna get you some money on your EBT cards.
Because all of us need food stamps. You know what I mean? We need EBT. Right. We need it because like we can't just go to the store and just buy groceries. Right. Well, honestly, a lot of people may not be able to go to the store and buy groceries right now. Inflation at 22%. But I mean, I'm talking about back then.
I'm not gonna help you you find jobs, substantive careers, home ownership. You know, we're gonna leave reparations out of it because that's a whole nother video too that we're gonna talk about on the local end of how we're gonna collect five. We got a lot of stuff we're gonna talk about. But they want to talk about band-aids over bullet wounds.
Every single time.
These are bullet wounds. These are bullet wounds that we have. We don't have scars. We might have had scars. We might have had scars 100 years ago. We might have had the scars of slavery 100, but now we've got bullet wounds. And y'all still trying to give us the same shit to help us that you helped us with the scars. Now you're trying to help us with bullet wounds. You giving us the same Band-Aid for the bullet wound. No stitches, no surgery, no repair. None. Here, just take this. Just take this.
Yeah, because, you know, you got to think about it. And this is just a little side note. This is what I mean by tangibles, right? Tangibles. That's a word I use quite often. You know, I don't know how many people got maimed, got their legs cut off, hurt, you know what I'm saying? Body parts messed up. I mean, all died trying to cross Dorset coming into West Willow. It was so many, it was just ridiculous. This happened for years and years and years and years and years. Right? Years. Right? In fact, it was designed that way. If you go back, when they redid the design, they actually did it that way to just been given the history again. I mean, by then it was a majority minorities that's coming into West Willow. So
is this another reason why
the reason why I'm saying this is because it's so critical. This was 20, 30 years. It took finally one person getting in there to actually get money to fix it. So people can now walk across the street without being a piñata.
So that's why that area is so unfinished.
What you gonna do? Right? You gonna give us food stamps. Oh, we need food stamps. No, we don't. We actually need something that's going to uplift and keep our lives going. That's what you need to talk about. That needs you better start talking there, because if you ain't talking in that conversation with me, we ain't talking. And we stopped talking, right, Jeff? Because there was nothing else to be said.
What good are food stamps if I'm getting run over on the way to the grocery store?
None, absolutely zero negative. There's nothing good in that because you won't be able to eat.
Does he got any weapons or drugs on him? No, he was just squeezing a bridge card.
You know, I mean, I'm still trying to figure out, and look, I know some folks they love cannabis. I have no problems with cannabis, but I'm still trying to figure out where is all the black individuals owning these cannabis locations around here. Besides Miss Christina Montague in Ann Arbor, I'm still trying to figure out where are the black owners, African American owners of the cannabis locations around these parks. Mr. Irwin was supposed to be doing a bill about that. He was supposed to be making sure that was part of the bill. It had to be about 15%, you know, minority ownership. What happened to that? Now I call it the way I see it because I know.
Right. See, and these are the things that I've tried to stay away from because of my grassroots work. It's such an overused word now. But my grassroots work, and I've got pictures. I can show you pictures of me and Jeff Irwin down at Dominic's during the legalization phase of getting this shit show legalized.
Mm-hmm.
I have to honestly tell you now, I hate legalized cannabis.
Wow.
Because what happened was we didn't have enough proactive individuals that looked like us. So once again, we stood on the sidelines and we waited for politicians to lie to us like they did, that they were going to put us in the wheel. And then they introduced these social equity programs, which they really weren't real Once again, see, this is the thing. When I know they start talking that social equity shit, that empowerment shit, that stuff, it ain't nothing but monkey math, and we're not going to get the full benefit of it. See, if they give you something, they're going to take something away. They give you an opportunity, they only going to give you an opportunity. They're not going to give you the same opportunities so you can go run like that white establishment. They're only going to give you an opportunity to run so far, so fast. And what they did, dizzied people up, all while the licenses were getting chewed up by Caucasian people and others, people of color, minorities, not Black Americans. And by the time it was all basically all filled up, because now they just starting to open things up again, and you're starting to see places pop up. Those new licensees are now people that already have dispensaries. So now you letting a motherfucker come in here who already owns one, get his second one, get his third one, get his fourth one.
I mean, you know, that's kind of interesting. That's what I say about that. You know, I'm just saying that. You know, so the disrespect, that's what people need to understand. The disrespect is a high, medium, and low thing, right?
Yeah.
The disrespect of Miss Dorsey was a high thing, right? Disrespect basically continues to be on medium things like, oh, y'all just need food stamps or EBTs. And the disrespect just goes all the way down low with basically claiming you're gonna do something, but then don't bring the tangibles. See,
right.
That's what we need to understand. And anybody who are supposedly supposed to be standing up for, you know, Black people, economically depressed people, whatever it is, you know, you're supposed to stand up for these things because that's supposed to be your history. You're supposed to be like, yeah, I'm down with the team. And then basically you have basically disappeared under the table. You know, there's people on literature right now. What is up with that? They're on literature. How long did they know any of this? Mr. Wilson, Ms. Brown, did you know these posts existed? I'm asking because I want to know, because I found out 3 weeks ago. You can't tell me I didn't know earlier, because trust me, if I would have known earlier, it would have been dealt with earlier.
And these are the people that are in these rooms with Annie Somerville. These are the people that have been out here politicking with Annie Somerville. And they know about these posts, and they know about the things that have been going on. And this is a problem because they've allowed it to persist. They've allowed it to persist, and they haven't said anything publicly. They've had numerous events where they've all been together collectively, and they could have said, you know, we need to address something. Because if she's going to be a part of your team, she's going to be a part of your crew, if y'all going to politic together, at least you should put her up on some game that Black folks don't fucking rock like this.
Resignation. If that was good, if that was what was good for Beth Bashir, if she was called to resign, I don't care. This is not about an election to me. I know people like, oh, she is doing this for the election. No, I'm not. Because I don't care about that. Trust me, I'm coming on the 9th. You will
It
be
don't even matter. It
or
don't even matter.
Annie, whatever happens, you may win, right? You will be county commissioner elect, or you may still be the city council person. I don't care. Resign. It's still resign. It's resign wherever you are. I don't give a crap. Resign.
Yeah, yeah. We're not looking. See, just like they weren't looking for Beth to no longer serve the city of Ypsilanti, I'm not personally looking for Annie Somerville to serve the county of Washtenaw.
Not at all.
I don't.
After what she said.
And here's the thing. Anybody that wants to rock with her, I've already said the primary is going to be the primaries. The general is going to be the generals. Whoever wins, just know we coming up out the pandemic. This monkeypox ain't going to grow legs the way y'all think it is. We ain't going to have another motherfucking breakdown to where nobody's going anywhere. These meetings is about to get opened up. Y'all hid behind Zoom calls for 2 years. Now it's time to come from up out behind y'all webcams. Now y'all going to have to talk to the people again. Y'all going to have to get out in public again. All y'all running for council positions, for mayor positions, county commissioner positions, supervisor positions. Whoever wins, congratulations. We'll see you at the next meeting. Period.
And that's what, it's like, oh, okay, I got the victory, yay. No. You cannot dismiss what happened, right? I don't care how victorious you are, right? I don't care. I literally don't. Okay, I'm going to let you know. I do not care what happens on Tuesday. If you win or if you lose, this issue is still going to be dealt with. Why? Because I knew Miss Dorsey, right? And I'm not going to let her legacy be disrespected like that.
Can I jump off that? Can I jump off that real quick? Because we know why we're here. But I know a good amount of Caucasian folks. And I'm sorry, y'all got some people in y'all past that y'all revere. Y'all got some people in y'all past that y'all respect. Y'all got some people in y'all past that y'all honor. Are you fucking telling me that you allow your past, your ancestors, your heroes, your Rosie the Riveters, they can be badass bitches?
Did they call their mama that?
Is that what you call your mama?
I mean, I'm
a
just
badass bitch? Is that what you call your grandma? A badass bitch?
What's your great grandma? You call her that? She okay with it? She good? Like, yeah, all right, thanks.
A badass bitch. Really? Really? A badass bitch?
I don't know. Some of them may say that. I don't know if they mama. I don't know. It may be all right in their household among grandma. Hey, everybody just calling each other beasts. But I don't think that's actually true. And most
I know it's not. I know some white parents. I know some white parents and white mothers that would knock the shit out of you. Okay. I mean, here's the thing. Respect is respect. That has no pigmentation.
Okay.
And this is a lack of respect. This is why they were talking that patriarchy shit. See, they think that they think this comes from the root of a man. They think this comes from the root of a man. They think the word bitch comes from the root of a man. All the detriment in this country comes from the root of a man. They don't even realize there were more female slaveholders than men.
Financial implication to patriarchy. Do they know that that's like the part of the word is financial implications? In other words, there are people who are using their financial means in order to keep a foot on the back of folks that's trying to uplift themselves. That's what patriarchy means. Like, I'm just lost. I mean, they just go pull out a term in the definition of Weber's and just, or word, and just, okay, we're going to put our own word to it. Like, pronouns. I'm sorry. I have an issue with that. I grew up with pronouns as it describes a noun, which is a person, place, or thing, right? Okay, I'm sorry. That's how I grew up, and I ain't change it. So if anybody got a problem with it, so you know what I'm saying? I actually liked English. I got A's in it.
You have to understand where these people must be to think that this is something that's not only acceptable, that's going to grow legs in the city of Ipsy. You think that we're going to just continue to develop, because we are, ridiculous Black American women, and we're going to allow you to call them bad bitches? Badass bitches. You think that's something that you really think you're going to do around Washtenaw County? There's absolutely no way. And like I said, I know this can't resonate in every single Caucasian home. There's some historical Caucasian women that they wanted to revere. Are you saying that their family is okay with this?
No.
Well, what kind of fucking rundown mentality is that? And that's what the fuck I'm gonna call you. You're a rundown spirit to allow your ancestors to be called badass bitches. That's crazy to me. A badass bitch. This is who I am. I've worked this hard to pave this way for you, and all I get is a trophy with badass bitch on it.
I wonder why they don't have something named after. I know we spoke about that earlier. Like, you know, maybe after this, not only, and this is like my, I guess you could say the first demands. I guess that's what they call it now, demands. So, demand. First of all, the city of Ypsilanti need to issue a straight up apology letter. Now, I'm just not saying apology letter like, oh, we sitting in the city council meeting, we need to apologize. No, you need to find her relatives and actually give them an apology letter. You need to bring them into the city council meeting and have this apologize to them. Yes, that much. Yes, all of y'all can read it together. I don't know, maybe at the same time, individually or whatever. That's where you start. Then you maybe need to name some building. I don't know. You got buildings. Park Ridge is one.
What street did you say she? What did you say she lived on? Jefferson?
Hall. At this point, maybe it needs to be the Maddie Dorsey City Council Hall, because obviously you don't remember the history, so you need to make sure that people remember it by actually naming something after her, right? And then next, or it don't matter when, resign Annie Somerville. Resign.
What street did you say she lived on? She lived on Jefferson?
Jefferson Street.
So Jefferson ain't nothing but a former president that owned slaves, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean,
why can't we just have that be Dorsey Avenue now?
Yes, at Jefferson Avenue, Dorsey Avenue.
Why not? I mean, here's my thing. If we want to start calling and saying that we had some real badass bitches, let's do some badass shit. Let's change some names of some buildings, or some new buildings that are going to be built. How about some new history we're going to create? And let's make sure that we put her name on there. And what's the other Queen Howard's name on there? And every single historical Black woman that came through here, that needs to come before council. Yeah, and we need to change some shit.
If we don't do it, they'll be forgot, right? And if they forgot, then somebody will get, I don't know, I mean, this idea that they think they're doing something good by calling them a B, right? Oh, and then some other folks who are their friends will come and actually defend that like they knew her, right? And then they'll actually be talking about all women and basically say all women are good with the B word, right? And then they'll go and basically take a young Black man who is defending black women queens, and basically gaslight them, right? Gaslight him like he didn't know what the world he was talking about. Oh, are you serious? You know,
where's Anthony Morgan on this? Where's Anthony?
This was the thing. Say their names in Ferguson, right? Before Ferguson got, incorporated is a good way to say it. When they were really marching in Ferguson for what actually was going on to Michael Brown, right? Before it got incorporated, because that's what happened. Before it got incorporated, because the young Black man that started that is no longer in living. So check your history, right? They
blew him away. They blew him away in his car.
Yeah, they did. So before it got incorporated, right? Say their names. Yes, say their names. Say Maddie Dorsey and make sure you put honorable before it. Say that, right? Because if you don't, then you'll get these young YOLOs that think that's okay to call her a B.
I see Sister Lois, Sister Francis, Sister Nicole. Who else is on city council? Well, Anthony Morgan, he's a male. I was trying to stay with the women,
Right.
but he's a male.
Yep.
Who else is there?
That's it. I think. You know.
Is that it?
Yeah, I mean, I do know I did when I did speak with Mary Lois about this. I think it's okay to say, because I think this conversation is okay to say. It was within the last couple of days. Basically, she said at the time that I guess Miss Somerville came to her and asked her, like, yeah, this is a good idea. And she was like, no, it is not a good idea. Don't do this. Like, don't. No, I mean, I knew, don't do that. Don't do that. And I guess Miss Somerville was like, I'm doing it anyway.
She asked somebody their opinion and they told her no, and she still did it?
That is what Mayor Lois told me. I also talked to Councilman Morgan. He was mad. He didn't know about the existence of the post either. No, I have not talked to Councilwoman Brown. And the reason why, I guess, I found out because I guess she agreed with it, according to the.
She agrees. Yeah, she agrees with it, and that's, you probably won't talk to her.
Okay, that makes sense. I'll see her on August 9th.
That's the thing. We'll see her. It's not like this isn't far away. Yeah. We're about 10 days away. We're 10 days away.
I'll see anybody that thought that this was okay on August 9th.
I'm tripping that she's actually gotten a negative response and still carried forth with it. As ballsy as that is, it's actually kind of crazy, because you got to go sit in front of these motherfuckers that just told you don't do this.
And I would ask anybody, because I plan on making this call on Monday too. Bill Nichols is the head of the Historical Society. Mr. Nichols need to be having a phone call, because Mr. Nichols thinks that this is okay.
Yeah, because that post was checked in on that page. So he absolutely has knowledge of this. That post was on the Historical Society page.
Please call Bill Nichols at the Historical Society if you listen in today, tomorrow, a couple days from now. If you are African American, I don't care if you're Caucasian, I don't care what race you are. If you listen to this whole podcast and you like, no, that ain't okay, please call Mr. Nichols and let him know, because I'll be calling him on Monday.
Let me see if I can find something here. 734-482-4990. 734-482-4990. That is the phone number to the Ypsilanti Historical Museum and Archives. 220 North Huron Street.
Mm-hmm. And if you feel inclined, it's up to you. You may or may not feel inclined. But if you feel inclined, you can also ask Mr. Nichols to basically ask Ms. Somerville to resign her volunteer position from the Ypsilanti Historical Society as well.
Absolutely. See, that's something that she can do that. She can do that now.
Yeah.
See, I know there's some red tape behind her resigning from her political positionings and whatnot, but she can resign immediately.
Oh, definitely.
From the Historical Society, because when I call, I'm going to ask, when I come into the Historical Society Museum and Archives, where exactly is the badass bitch display?
I don't know.
I'm looking to see the badass bitch exhibit.
Yeah.
My granddaughter, what time is it? It ain't midnight yet. Happy birthday to my heart, Kai Louise. She turned 3 today. I want to take my 3-year-old granddaughter to show her some historical figures and introduce her to badass bitches of Ypsilanti.
Don't introduce her to that.
I mean, that's what Annie Somerville, that's what she sees as okay. So I should be able to take, because the Ypsilanti Historical Museum and Archives has to be a family friendly place.
Yeah, normally it is. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So when you walk in there, I would want to know, where exactly is the badass bitch display?
I don't even. I can't help you with. I mean, what?
Are you okay? So Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? So Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie?
Oh yeah, we gonna call 482-4990. We gonna call.
Please call.
We gotta call.
There's some folks that knew about this months ago and didn't call, right? I mean, there's some folks that knew about this months ago and didn't call and didn't do nothing. Some of them been sitting over there, and I'm gonna say it. Whoo, I know I'm gonna make some folks mad, but that's okay. Checking and driving, right? Yeah, because if you thought that this was okay at all and didn't say anything because you was too worried about your political career, man,
You should be worried about it now. You should
yeah,
be worried about it now.
Worry about it now.
You come for black votes.
Beth Bashir is not the only person who can be right checks. Trust me on that. And I'm saying that, and I mean it, and I mean it when I say it. I swear I do. You know what I'm saying? If what Beth did was not okay, Lord knows this ain't.
This is true. I mean, because truthfully, I've chalked what Beth did up to as pandering. It was pandering. It was just audible. Because we know good and well that there's people who have done exactly what Beth said she was going to do, and they just don't say anything about it. Beth just got caught with a hot mic.
Basically.
That's all that happened with Beth.
That
Beth just got caught with a hot mic.
Yep.
You know, I don't believe that what Beth said was intentionally racist or even bigoted. She ain't got enough money to be racist. She can be a bigot, but she ain't got the money to be racist. But I don't think it was intentionally done that way. But because sometimes there is the white guilt, white fragility, whatever, things like that tend to come out. But see, the problem with that, it works that way for our side too. Because you can't tell me that Jimmy don't know, that Justin don't know, that Anthony don't know, that Feature or Cheacher, whatever his name is, he running for mayor running for judge don't know. The other brother that's running for state rep don't know. You can't tell me that Ronnie Peterson don't know, that Ricky Jefferson don't know. You can't tell me that all of them don't know.
Well,
if they know, then why the fuck ain't you saying something?
Well,
because you standing on the backs of women like Mrs. Dorsey, Mrs. Howard, and every other incredible black female that came through Ypsilanti. Y'all standing on the backs, y'all wouldn't be shit.
I'm going to
basically
say something, right? Sometimes when you in elected leadership, you feel like you can't bring issues up because you may be doing battles, right? You may be doing battles, and I say battles that people don't see because we don't. Number one, can you please, basically, people go to your city council, your township, and your county commission meetings. So with that, please go. Please, because you need to, right? I know you can't go all the time, but go. So basically, they may be doing battles. I'm just putting it out there. But the point is, regardless, is that these things still have to come out. I understand you can be doing battles, but these things have to come out. right? Now they have to. Now, questions are, when did you know, right? When did you know? Did you know like recently? Did you know in December? You know, those are questions that need to be atoned to.
What's a bigger battle? What's a bigger battle? Your individual political stance,
Mm-hmm.
or controlling our narrative and crushing white supremacy? Because you get nowhere with your political stance as long as white supremacy can uphold itself.
Yeah.
You get nowhere as long as they control our narrative.
Yeah.
You get nowhere. So your political run could either time out or you could get voted out. So you care more about that than protecting the lineage, the historical lineage of our community. And I know some of y'all are transient. Some of y'all weren't born and raised in Washington County and Ann Arbor, Ypsi, and all that. So you only came here for your comeuppance. I get it. So sometimes you're not rooted here. Sometimes you ain't rooted here. But the people that are rooted here, shame on you. Shame on you.
Yeah, and sometimes even, you know, and this is not to knock. I get the other side because I was on the other side.
Sure.
Sometimes this is not to knock you if you were in the middle of a battle and you basically tried but didn't get out. But this got to get out. So even if you can't do it, then have other people do it. Whatever it is, it's got to get out, right? Loud, 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 right? So, and again, those are questions that need to be answered. Like, I didn't know. When I called Mayor Lois, I didn't know, you know, that she said to this child, yes, I called her that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
She is a child.
Don't do that.
She is a child because somebody
But
told her repeatedly not to do something, but it wasn't a good idea.
She said, no, she told her don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I was like, okay, thank you. I'm glad to know. Uh-oh, that shut down. Uh-oh, my phone.
Uh-oh. I think Monica was sitting there without her cord plugged in, y'all. and she is, I'm gonna see if she powers up and tries to get back in here. I'd like to give her an appropriate exit. We weren't gonna be here too much longer. We've been in y'all ear for a couple hours, it looks like. And I know my neighbors is like, motherfucker, if you don't go to sleep. So I'm gonna see if she can power back up. I think her phone went out. She was like, uh-oh, look, it must have just, you know, didn't give her no. I got a 20% warning a while back. I plugged up. And then but if she can strike up again, if not, we'll just exit on out, you know.
Are you okay? So Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? So Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie?
We can do that. We can just exit on out if she don't make it back up. You know, I get it. I totally get it. I get what she's going through. I've been there before. I done been cut off in the middle of a stream and looked at the damn phone and the phone dead as a motherfucker. Then I've been cut off, you know, when they just cut my stream when I say something greasy. Coming back shortly. Okay. So I want to give her an opportunity to do a proper exit because she taught me some things tonight. She probably taught the few people that's going to watch this video a few things tonight about our great city of Ypsilanti here in Washington County. And we know, we understand this family here. It's all good. She was gracious enough to do this tonight, and I appreciate that. Because I really didn't understand exactly how what came about. I was wondering, like, what the hell? Who's out here disparaging Black queens like this? Who did this? Who sent you? Who sent you? So, hey, lady, and if you can't get it strong enough to charge before we get off, just know you are appreciated in this space. I don't know who held on throughout this time, but you are appreciated in this space. I don't know who's going to check this out, but You delivered the heat tonight, and I appreciate you. And we have several other conversations that are already in the queue that we're gonna get out, you know, in between time, in the meantime. So I'm just thankful that I am in a position where I can still learn out here. I already told y'all, if I'm the smartest person in the room, we gonna die. I need people that are smarter than me. I need people that know more than me so I can deliver it to you. Because there's a lot of people that didn't know some of the shit that was said tonight. I know for a fact you didn't know some of the history here tonight. Now you do. And if you don't know, now you know. I didn't want to bring Annie Somerville down to Chinatown, but hey, Annie Somerville did something that she had been told, and you saw how we walked this down. We wasn't in a rush to get to that shit because it really actually kind of pissed us off. We really didn't want to talk about it, but we had to talk about it. We had to say the bad bitch shit. We had to say the badass bitch shit. We had to talk about the proof and bring the receipts and things like that. We had to. If we did not, we would have just been two people just talking in the wind. But you had receipts tonight. You had history tonight. And we're going to get ready to get this closed out. Sister Monica looks like she's going to be able to come back up in here. Bring her on right now. Bam. Bam. While she's coming back in here, let me see if we can get the Annie up.
Are you okay? So Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? So Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? So
So
Annie, are
I
you
know he's
okay?
just
Are
like,
you okay, Annie? You've been hit by, a smooth criminal. Are you okay?
poor Michael.
Michael had, well, look, I had to bring Michael into my mess tonight. Every now and then I had to bring Mike in. Mike has been a part of my videos before, not this particular track, but I have to bring Mike in every now and then for context purposes. But I knew what was happening because I almost went dead earlier and I put the cord in. So that's the only reason
Yeah.
I didn't go dead. I meant to say something because as a novice, I still consider myself a novice podcaster, even though I know about broadcasting. Oh, I've been up on a cast. I've been cooking. I've been just setting it on fire. And the thing just goes bloop, bloop, bloop.
Right. That's what happened. We're like, you know, and
I get it. I get it. I've been there before. Don't even sweat it. Don't even sweat it. It's something that happens. So
thank you.
I
I
need,
appreciate the opportunity, though. I appreciate this opportunity to talk about Miss Dorsey's history. Please, folks, get this out. Okay, we don't have a media. You know, it was a media article on Miss Dorsey. It was done by Lucas, the writer, I guess Lucas, I can't pronounce his last name, that works for MLive. Yeah, he did a great article for 75% of, and then 25% was like people that didn't know Miss Dorsey, right? And so basically, please get this out. It is so critical that we get this out because our media is not going to do it. They're fine with us being, lacking information. I hate to
absolutely.
say it, but I'm being honest. You know what I'm saying? Because this is not the same media that you knew, grew up with. It's definitely not the same media I grew up with.
No.
So, they're fine with us having half information, a quarter information, but not all the information. Honestly, this type of article, even though he doesn't write here anymore, Tom Perkins would have been all over this in them live. You know what I'm saying? And I know it, right? He would have been all over this. He would have been over it in December, right? You know what I'm saying? Just like he was on the Beth Bashir story, right? But we don't have journalists like that. These journalists are scared.
Right. Well, we got a lot of copy and paste artists now, and we got people that want to use certain talking points to continue just to push whatever they're going to push down the road. They're not really looking to make change with
Back because
this.
I leave as a
Okay,
guest.
this is a
Okay,
situation
I'm
where
back. Yeah, I'm back. You know, they're scared. They can't, you know, they worry, they worry.
Yeah.
So
So
we have to
I know that we're not going to get a lot of help that way. That's why I always feel that as long as we're controlling our own narrative and we ain't on no goofy shit, I think we're always going to be fine. But it's when we allow people to infiltrate and try to reason, like that person trying to reason with Ryan about why they're reclaiming this word. For one, you
yeah.
don't hear people talking about reclaiming shit until you
Can
hear.
we can we give Ryan a building? Actually, he need to have a commentation from the city of Ypsilanti in regards to how he tried to defend and did defend Miss Maddie Dorsey.
And here's the thing, Ryan's from Ann Arbor.
Ooh,
So Ryan's from Ann Arbor. Ryan's from the north side of Ann Arbor. So this is why I have to understand, if you got a person from Ann Arbor, and I know he resides in Ypsi and's been in Ypsi for years and has done business in
right.
Ypsi for years, but a person from the north side of Ann Arbor, if they're coming to the defense of our ancestral queens, and I'm seeing him go back and forth with your Ypsi, whoa, wait a minute. Was she the one that doesn't live here anymore? Because one of them
Which
people, wasn't one of them people that was all in.
I think Jeanette Rook, yes, I think she lives in Chicago now. She used to actually be, they had the Washtenaw County Economic Development. If not the head, she was the assistant head of Washtenaw County Economic Development. You know, that's a whole nother
And
podcast
she's
called
all in
Wash.
she's all in the post in one of them posts too. You don't even live here no
Yeah,
more. You moved
yeah. I mean,
away. You moved away. You
that's a
only can
whole.
talk when your boots is on the ground.
I mean, that's a whole nother podcast about Washtenaw County and that. You know, but I'm just basically saying you're right, right? So it's like, come on, did you know Miss Dorsey? I mean, how you just basically like, yeah, you know, Julie Palmer, yeah, you know, some guy that commented up in there, yeah, you know, I mean, stop it, you know, Miss Brown, thumbs up, Jeff, TikTok, yeah, come on, oh yeah.
I didn't even.
Apology. Yeah, especially the two elected. Especially the two elected outside of Annie who needs to resign. Basically, Nicole, Miss Brown, Mr. Irwin. You know, maybe you think just because, you know, I know you get confused. I know. It's not Ann Arbor, right? This is not Ann Arbor, and you know, we don't have people, I mean, in this case anyway, we don't have people elected in Ann Arbor City Council that may be married to people's dads. So,
Well, maybe they just went with the old adage that black people don't read. I don't know.
you know, so I'm just basically saying, please.
They don't think we read and shit. Maybe they just didn't think we
No.
was gonna see it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they, you know, I thought it was going to be buried forever. I mean, I don't know, but I mean, just stop it. Just stop it. You know, Mr. Irwin, I'm sorry. You're coming to the table on this one.
Absolutely.
Because you're her boss.
I mean, you see her every day. And you didn't for once look at that post and say, you know, we might have hit a wrong chord with this one.
Mm-hmm.
Just to think about it. And then once you thought about it, you know,
it's so much disrespect, though. I mean, I know we'll get another podcast. I mean, another show, but it's so much disrespect. I mean, you know, it's been disrespect on the county commission. We'll talk about that another time. You know, it's been disrespect by people from Ann Arbor that can't respect this area. You know, it's been disrespect by folks that implant themselves here that can't respect the history. It's just so much disrespect. It's just disgusting.
I would have to say the most powerful person from the African American community would have to be Jerry Clayton, right? Wouldn't he be the most powerful black person in this area as the sheriff and one of the leaders of the Democratic Party around here?
I guess.
He's been quiet too.
I noticed.
Derrick Jackson, quiet too.
I noticed.
Greg Dill, quiet too.
Hey, I noticed. You know, I mean, all of these people better be like, I didn't know this post exists, and you better be able to prove it. You know what I'm saying? You better be able to prove it, because literally I found out 3 weeks ago. Because trust me, this would have came earlier.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you better be able to prove it. And I'm serious when I say that. If you act like, you better be able, you better, like Mary Lois. Hey, I told her, you know what I'm saying? You better be able to come up with something, or else you coming to the carpet too.
Because she's going to be in the meeting.
You thought it was bad with the Grady L's. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Hey, look. My situation is pretty cut and dry. Nobody likes me. I understand the things I talk about. Nobody likes the things that I talk about. So as soon as I show up, you already know they're going to be like 9-1. They're already going to be ready to hit the one on my ass. So I just want to sit there because truthfully, I'm literally just there just to make sure they don't try nothing stupid, because they already know you got receipts upon receipts. Hey,
that's it.
I'm just an interested party.
We will.
I'm just, and can you bring coffee? Because I want to bring my coffee to the meeting. I want to sit and drink my coffee and listen to the meeting. And, you know, hey, it is what it is. I don't know if they have community comments. I'll share community comments. I have no problem. Will they give you 2 minutes? I'll share community comments. I'll probably bring a couple people with me and they'll let them yield their time. So I'll get about 6 or 7 minutes. If I stand up there for 6 or 7 minutes, somebody might cry. I'm just telling you. If I get 6 minutes in a city council meeting, somebody might cry.
Don't get sick on August 9th and don't come to the meeting, because you need to hear this. Don't get sick. Don't disappear. Don't basically be like, I can't come. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Don't, because it's just gonna make it worse. Because then I'm gonna come to the council meeting until you show up.
We'll probably see a post tomorrow like, you know what? The 9th council meeting will be on Zoom. It's going to be on Zoom, and it'll be limited access for the community. Yeah, some shit's about to change.
It is going to change. It's actually kind of, you know, I mean, this is an abomination, but maybe this is weirdly, strangely, very strangely, what was needed in order to wake up some folks, because Lord knows some of y'all been sleeping for a while. You know, absolutely. You've been hoodwinked and you've been bamboozled. Yeah, Spike Lee just didn't come up with that out of the air. It's real. You've been hoodwinked and bamboozled. Okay.
Yeah. We've allowed way too much for way too long on a global scale, and I think the only way for anybody, if we're going to move as a collective, for anybody to really get anything done around here, is to change it from the ground up. That's with our local politics. It ain't no sense of us waiting till the midterm and to the 24. No, we start right now. It's about cleaning up our own front yard. We got to clean up our own front yard. You know what? I feel for the people in other counties and other cities and other areas around the state. You know, and I call this my village. This is my immediate village, but really the whole state of Michigan is my village. This is where I'm from. I feel for those people who I can't help directly. I'll do anything I can for a person based on, you know, time and capabilities and whatnot. But this is where I'm from. This is where I'm from. So this is who I see all these people all the time. Jimmy done knocked on my door before. I think he might have been walking around here with his family, if I'm not mistaken. My lady said she remembered, you know, I got at least 2 of his things inside. I just got somebody from McCoy's thing today. Who else's thing that I've been getting all faces that look like us. If y'all look like us, how come y'all ain't seen no posts about this shit from y'all?
I mean, you know, again, if you didn't know, then you need to account for that. But if don't say you didn't know and you knew. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. do not say that you didn't know in order to get out of it, because we gon' figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out. Okay? Don't say that you didn't know and you knew. Please do not say that. Don't say it. Don't. I'm asking you now. Don't say that you didn't know if you knew. Just basically just say I knew and I just was scared to say something. You know what I'm saying? Just go there if you have to. You know, I didn't know. I didn't know what to do. I was lost and now I'm found because somebody that came out and said something. If you knew, you better say you knew, because I'm telling you, this is not ooh, when I say I'm serious. I don't think people understand how much Miss Dorsey meant to me. And that's because she meant so much to my mother. She got my mother out of situations. My mother was beat up by the Ypsilanti City Police. And guess who came down there to help her? Miss Dorsey. Don't play with me.
You know, there's at least 10 more of them stories, maybe 20, probably 50, could be 100. You know how many people she stuck up for single-handedly?
Mm-hmm.
How many people she stuck up for single-handedly, all to be lowered to a badass bitch?
Are you okay? So Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? So Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? So Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? You've been hit by a smooth criminal.
Mm-mm-mm. And when we show our anger, right? When we show our anger, you know, they try and say that's aggression. Oh, they being aggressive. You know, oh, we got to worry about them. They violent people. They being aggressive. No, 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 no. Let me tell you something. I'm educated. Okay? And so I can be anger. I can show anger and professionally call you to the carpet. I'm not stupid.
Absolutely. See, and this is why I didn't want to come off unhinged. This is why I've had to remain petty through the whole thing, because no, I'm not laughing at the scenario because ain't shit funny on this. But see, it's actually kind of comical that someone that could believe this would be okay to do. And you brought something to me. I didn't know about Mayor Richardson telling her this probably wouldn't be something she should probably do. I didn't know that other people had told her no, and they told her no, and she still did it after that post was made over 7 months ago.
Now, Mary
When she
Lois
decided,
knew probably better than I did, because, I mean, I was a kid. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So when she told you, don't do it, what did that do? That just went in one ear and out the other, Annie Somerville? Or you was just like, you know what, I'm white, I can do what I want to do. Yeah, I said it.
you know what? It's got "'cause I'm white and I say so" written all over it. It's got "'cause I'm white and I say so" written all over it. I really tried to stay away from that tonight, but if two of your colleagues, one is your superior, one is the mayor of the city, if they told you this probably isn't what you want to do and you still went and did it.
See, the guise of the pandemic, as you want to say it, has been really fruitful for some people, because basically they were allowed to get away with out of lineness in that pandemic, because basically most people were not, you know, coming to meetings. It was Zoom meetings. It was this. And so they were allowed to step out of line and step all over lines, like left, right, up, down, you know. And so there was a lot of things that were missed in the pandemic. So I'm going to try and basically say, if for some reason you didn't know, then please be real about that. You know, I can understand if you didn't know. I didn't know, right? I didn't know until 3 weeks ago. So, but don't lie. So meanwhile, between time, we're going to keep going, right? So basically, some folks got away with stuff because it was, you know, folks say, you know, them days over. You're not getting away with it. Resign from your seat. And that is the first act. It's not, oh well, I'm gonna apologize again. No, resign.
And wait a minute. Beth didn't get a chance to apologize. She got ousted.
No, she didn't be like, well, she did apologize once, but then even after she did, they're like resign. So you know,
yeah,
she her second apology, resign.
Right, yeah. I mean, and this, I'm telling you, the irony of this, to know that she led the brigade to get Beth out.
Woo! I mean,
The
full circle.
irony is ridiculous here.
360 degrees. You know, karma goes around in circles.
Oh yeah. Eventually, it's coming back around. It's coming back around, and she's done. This is renegade. Like you said, they've basically been doing what they've wanted to do during the past couple of years, and it's lulled people to sleep. This is why we, as a people, as a collective, Native Black Americans, we cannot ever fall asleep politically again.
Never.
That's how everything moves around here. It doesn't move because your family knew this family and this and that. No. Everything moves politically. They want to keep sticking us with this 12 to 14, 12 to 15% of the population. And we are right around those accurate numbers for Washtenaw County. Well, goddamn it, we need 12 to 15% of the contract jobs. We should own 12 to 15% of the businesses. We should have 12 to 15% of the civil servant jobs. Why don't we have it?
And please stop letting them give you tokens. Okay, please. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to throw you a token. This group here's some tokens for you. Here's some tokens for you.
They don't give us tokens. They add money to our bridge card.
Will you be quiet? Would you let us just continue to do what we're doing if we throw you some tokens? Will you be quiet? Stop it. Stop it.
Give you a little money so y'all can go get y'all some brooms and shit and some dustpans and get to sweeping up around in the area that you already fucking pay city workers to clean. Are you serious? Every time, see, this is where I get pissed off. This is where I get really pissed off. Because I salute people like Brian Foley and all them, be over there cleaning the parks and all that shit. But there's goddamn city workers that get paid to do that. Yeah. And that ain't y'all neighborhood no more. White folks done moved in that neighborhood. How come white folks ain't out there sweeping and shit? How come white folks ain't out there cutting grass and shit, picking up trash and shit? They live in the neighborhood too. I know it used to be low riders. I know it used to be big rims and spinners, but now it's fucking Priuses and Teslas and shit. God damn it. Get them motherfuckers out their house and let them go sweep up some shit. They in y'all neighborhood, and maybe make sure they understand that that Park Ridge Center, that needs to be named Maddie Dorsey Center.
Center, period.
They need to understand the history. They didn't just move to Ipsy because it's a good lick, and then they're going to get their money up and then go on and move to Ann Arbor. No, motherfucker. You moved into our village. Therefore, there's a tax to pay. Pick a broom up.
I mean, I can't.
That's the way I feel. That's just the way I feel. You part of the team, right? Your kid's gonna play out here in the park, right? Your kid's gonna play out here in the park.
Part of the team when it's time for a vote. Please don't be a part of the team when it's time for a vote. Don't be one of those people. Don't be one of those people that's basically looking like a couple years ahead of time, sitting over there trying to figure out what political move they're gonna make next. So they're gonna take up a charge and then, oh yeah, that's me. I'm that chick. You know what I'm saying? Don't be one of those people. But when you do it, you hoping that stuff get buried 6 feet down.
Hey, they're either with us or they're against us. I don't give a fuck about geographic location no more. But since you did move into the neighborhood, welcome to the neighborhood, neighbor. That's the way I'm looking at it. Welcome to the neighborhood, neighbor. But see, nobody else thinks that way. Everybody else thinks that these people can just come in and just do absolutely nothing.
You know what? I gotta get point of privilege. I was born in Ipsy,
Hmm.
right? I always, this is the thing about moving. If I ever hear anybody to say that you cannot move around again, it's gonna make me kind of, ugh. I was born in Ipsy. I was raised on the South Side for the first, give or take, 4 or 5 years of my life. Then we
Hmm.
moved. We were the first African American families to buy a house in Washington Square. Then my parents got divorced, right? They got divorced like 4 years after that. I lived in Inkster, went to Brake Elementary School. Brake, you know what I'm saying? It's not even there anymore because of the fact the Inkster School, public school district is no longer there,
Hmm.
right? Now, I lived in Detroit, right? I respect Detroit. I respect Detroit because when I go down there and I'm doing activism, I always let the activists go first and I'm just there to support.
Right.
Okay, I would never even think for 5 seconds to call Mayor Coleman Young anything other than Mayor Coleman Young. Okay, that's what his name is, so you call him his name. So, meanwhile, between time, lived in California. I mean, I'm just saying, and came back to Ipsy. So, what I'm saying is, don't move and come into an area and think you could disrespect history, right?
It's
Don't
that.
do that.
It's that.
Because it's going to come back. It's going to come back like a boomerang.
Right.
And you are not going to like it. That's what's happened here. Either you basically understand that you live here, you're a resident, all that. But there's a certain point where you can never cross.
Right. You don't even put yourself in a position to even think that it's possible. And see, that's where we have the issue with the language. See, nobody conducts any type of protocol anymore. Oh, you can say this, you can't say this, you can say this, you can't say this. No, it's just a free for all. Everybody feels like they can talk to anybody. On the Ipsy pages, you know, the thing that they were in here, I've been called patriarchal, you know, and say, oh, I'm an ageist, you know, because I don't listen to people that are younger. I listen to people that are younger.
I'm keep saying that. I couldn't believe when I read that post. That was by somebody else, and we ain't bringing them up in this
Oh, okay.
conversation. But if you want to be brought up, trust me, I can mention your name. YOLO, YOLO, yo, yo, YOLO, yo. What the hell is that?
They did.
Go somewhere with that mess. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to say this too because I can.
Right.
Right? I am proud of my age. I am proud of the wisdom that my age has given me. I am proud of the life experiences that my age has given me. I am proud of what I have seen. I am proud of who I have learned from. I am proud of my elders as well, and still call them elders, right? So this disrespect, you may think that's okay, but trust me, we're watching.
Right. I mean, I remember there was an old Richard Pryor joke, and I really got to find this. He said, "You don't get to be old being no fool.
No, you don't.
You don't get to be old being no fool."
Mm-hmm.
And it's, to me, I believe that we're raising young fools now. We're allowing them to run amok and
That's true.
be what they want to be, but then they always end up coming back because they don't have the wisdom that we had. They don't have. You realize that we're about to embark on a generation of politicians that don't even know what a number 2 pencil is.
Oof.
We're about to embark on a generation. You remember that big fat red pencil that didn't have an eraser on the end of it.
Remember
They
that
not
one.
gonna know that life. They're not gonna know that life.
That was a math pencil, by the way.
Yes.
Right. Right. Yeah, that was a math pencil, so that way you couldn't erase your work.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't know that. They don't care to know either. You know, some of them can't even write cursive.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Okay, so I've seen some of the worst handwriting over the last couple. I mean, I didn't even know exactly what I was dealing with. I would just see handwriting because we out in these stores now. You see, people like start filling out a application or something, and then but just names and scribble. And we come from that generation. We used to write our name over and over and just write it and try to write it better.
You
You
got
would
it
see
right.
stuff written down, and I'm like, oh my God, the manuscript for some of these people. I'm like, are you serious? I would
Yes.
think you're talking about like barely above the literacy chart. I mean, but it's because they type everything.
Right.
It's
So I
all
don't need to.
it's QWERTY keyboard. It's QWERTY keyboard. So my thing
I
is,
can do TikTok, 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 TikTok.
wait a minute. Who's the little white girl that talks on everybody's videos? It's the same voice. It's the same voice that talks on everybody's videos. What do you do? Type the words in there, and then it comes out in that voice. She's on
Yeah.
every single TikTok video, every
Yeah.
single reel. It's that same voice. I'm like, she busy as fuck. And you notice
Yeah. You can actually change the voice. I just found that out. But I mean, I'm just saying TikTok. I mean, these folks
I
live.
can change it to like a urban voice.
I know,
Uh,
but it doesn't allow you to do that. Yeah, you get voice changes, but not that
can
one.
I change it to
I
a
mean,
badass bitch?
no. You know, these folks live in this reality. This is their reality. That their reality is whatever. It's all social media. Whatever. It doesn't have to be real. Whatever. It can just be. Oh, and also, this is the other reality that they live in. Causes, but not real tangibles, but causes. Let me be clear about that, because causes can have a whole bunch of definitions. I'm talking about cause of the moment.
Oh,
Whatever that is. No, I don't think I'm going there. I'm going to tell you. Oh, they told me I need to go do this and be mad at that. Oh, let me go. Oh, it's this today. Oh, let me go. Oh, and you know, sorry folks, but everybody marching on everything don't work. Okay, yeah, that's not just. I mean, I think they just saw the civil rights movement, saw people marching, and said the only thing that we need to do is march. Trust me,
You
it was
okay?
a whole lot
So Annie,
more
are
than
you
march.
okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? So Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie?
I saw this whole campaign cycle. You just brought up something else. We're gonna have to get out of here, damn it.
I know, I
We
gotta go. I know, I just had to
You
bring that
brought
up
up
because
something. You
that's
brought
an
up something
irritating thing.
that resonated in me, probably right before you cut off.
Mm-hmm.
But now you done said causes.
Yep.
I done seen all the stuff they've been running on, all the affordable housing, all the Medicare, all the, But as soon as this Roe versus Wade shit came in, everybody's campaign speech changed. Now,
Whatever happened to reparations?
oh no, they skipped over reparation, went right to abortion.
I could have sworn I could have heard on the candidate trail that we were going to deal with reparations. What happened to that?
Roe v. Wade happened.
I mean, before Roe v. Wade, it still seemed like it disappeared. What I mean, because other causes were in there. It was
Oh, well,
everything.
yeah. See, anytime they get distracted, they always take us off the money when some other
Oh,
distraction comes in. But
yeah,
see,
black.
we could have talked about reparations at the Juneteenth festival.
I mean, I'm still waiting. I mean, what happened to student loan debt? I mean, I'm just waiting. I mean, it just seemed like it's causes. It's causes. It's causes. Climate change. I mean, that's cause today. Climate change.
Yeah. Gas prices, this, that, and the other. They was having some arguing about somebody trying to give gas away and this, that, and the other. I'm like, are y'all serious? Y'all serious here? These same gas pumps, people was doing 10 on 3. Now, y'all think giving some gas at a discount at $5 a gallon is gonna help? They still
I
gonna
mean,
be getting 10 on 3.
thing. I mean, and I hope we have another discussion about this, about the economics. The economics right now are absolutely ludicrous. Okay, and I'm just gonna let you know right now, I will put these letters behind my name because I earned them. NBA, 2 negative quarters of GDP is a recession. I don't care what the definition that you think it is today, it's a recession.
And 50% over 50% living under the poverty line in Ypsilanti city and township combined, is a pandemic. See, y'all don't use the words wrongfully. Y'all don't use pandemic wrong, and y'all don't use recession wrong. 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP, recession.
Period.
Over 50% of the Black population living under the poverty line in Ypsi City and Ypsi Township, that's a pandemic.
It is very much so. There's seniors in this community that's living on $1,000 a month. And we sitting over there talking about, oh, we gotta work on this and that. You got seniors in this community. You got people, disabled people in this community that's living on $1,000 a month, while gas prices right now are still $4.45 or 40 cents or $3.99. You know what I'm saying? When you go to the store and try and buy food, you know your food bill has increased 30, 40, 50%. You have people in this community living on $1,000 a month, but we are in so many causes that we cannot even focus on these people.
And that is a massacre. You go from recession to pandemic to massacre, because it's just mass death. We might not be dying by the second, but we're dying slowly, because the food we can't afford to eat, it's processed. The meat we can't afford to buy, it's tainted. The vegetables we can't afford to buy, they've already been poisoned by shit they spraying out the fucking sky. But double cheeseburger still 99 cents at McDonald's. Double cheeseburger ain't moved in 30 years. Yeah, that's real meat. Okay, gotcha.
No. You know, I mean, I'm serious. So it's like, that's why this lostness can happen, because you have lost the connections. Everything is an interweave, right? Everything interweaves to everything else. History interweaves to how it is the present day goes. And if the chain is broken, then everything falls apart, right?
Everything falls apart. They've broken links in Ypsi when they sent folks packing and had to get out of Dodge, you know, when the plants were closing over there and stuff, and they broke families up. I mean, they broke our household up. My stepfather had to go to Arlington, Texas, you know, in my later teen years when I needed him probably around more. Now, granted, it gave me a little bit of freedom. You know, mom would go down to Texas. I'd have the house by myself. I thought I was doing some things. But what I really needed was them last couple of years for him to really be around to teach me how to get up out the house. Now, I've turned out okay. I've turned out okay, but every kid don't turn out okay when your parents either got to move out of town to work, or your mom or your dad's got to work 2-3 jobs and shit, and you do have the house free by yourself, this, that, and the other. It ain't the same as it was for us. We had a sense of responsibility back then because we had a sense of respect.
Right, which is something that's not the YOLO. I don't know. YOLO don't have.
No, you can't have respect when you're calling people badass bitches. Let's just put it to bed. We ain't got to go back over it. There's no respect here because they feel that a badass bitch and a historical black queen. And I told y'all got to look at y'all corner too. There's some white women out there that I know y'all revere that y'all probably don't want called badass bitches, but y'all ain't saying nothing. But that's y'all fight. Our fight is this. Our fight is ours. We're going to fight for ours. If y'all don't want to fight for yours, that's your business. That's your business. But we're going to fight for ours. We're looking for buildings, streets, and all kinds of shit to be named after Miss Dorsey.
Oh, definitely.
If y'all want to just collectively be badass bitches on the white side, that's your business.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to, that street, I don't know if there's a street you want for BB Street. You want that street, go name that street.
They'll get no more streets. They got Madison, they got Jefferson, they got Washington, they got all them damn streets named after them goddamn slave-holding presidents. They don't need no more goddamn streets named after them. Fuck that. They don't need that. They ain't nobody else. They got Rosie the Riveter. They got I ain't see. Put some black people on the wall, Bomber. Put some black people on the wall. We got some black Rosies out there too.
Yes, we do.
We got some put some black people on the wall. See, they don't get no more. They don't get no more. They've had it all. Well, if we keep giving them some, even if we catch up, then they just got some more. That means they still further ahead. We'll never catch up. It's time for them to stop.
Yeah.
It's time for them to stop. It stops here.
Yeah, the buck stops here, as you know, it was said back in the day.
That's crazy
and
as hell.
I stop here, and the last thing I have to say is these activists.
Those activists, those actors, those activists.
I don't know. These activists, right?
Freeway Waddlesworth.
You know who you are, right? All of y'all know who you are. You know, some of y'all think that it's okay to call other black females bees, ain't you? Yeah, I hope you listen to the person.
Oh, yeah, you know. And see, that's probably the same person. That's probably the same person that blocked me. She probably the same person.
Right? Are we both, you know? I mean, but either way, activists, right?
Mm-hmm.
If this ain't an issue that gets you riled up, okay, and ready to come and be activated, we see you. We gonna see you. We gonna see you. Okay, because ducats shouldn't stop you from being activated on this subject matter. I am going to be looking. I keep trying to tell folks for the last time, because I did a job when I was elected. This is me. Don't get it twisted.
I know, and I know they waiting for somebody else to die. They always like to come out. They always like to jump out right when somebody died. We don't need nobody to die for y'all to march, for y'all to dance, for y'all to go put y'all choreographed routines out in front of damn sheriff department. We don't need none of that right now. What we need is for y'all to stand up for the queens that y'all say y'all revere, for the queens that you are descendants of, for the queens who paved the way for y'all to have y'all marches, have y'all walks, have y'all cha-cha slides.
You know, and every black female, excuse me, every black elected female in Washtenaw County, sorry, it usually comes in two. I'm asking for you, if you did not know that this happened, I'm asking for you to be, if you can, at that meeting on August 9th. If you cannot be there on August 9th, please submit a letter to the clerk and ask for it to be read. That would be Frances McMullen. We need to stand up.
It'd be a shame. It'd be a shame.
I know it's some black females that maybe can't do either because, you know, but I'm talking about the rest of y'all.
But you know what, though? Anonymous letters are great. Anonymous letters are great. We don't have to go in there and have something that we just rearrange the words. No, we need real voices. We want to hear your voices. And if we have to speak because you can't do it, I know there's people holding certain positions, holding certain positions that they can't come publicly, they can't be on camera, they can't be mic'd up. But send them to us. We'll read them. We have no problem with it.
Send them to me. You know, I mean, my email, you can send it right now. MonicaRW1@iunewstalk.com. Please send it to me. If you don't know, you please send it to me. Please,
Shannon
please.
will help you at Gmail.
If we ain't never did nothing together collectively, can we please stand up for this? If you are a black elected female in this county, right, we need to have your voice either on August 9th or either we need to have your letter on August 9th about how you feel about what happened about the BB. I ain't gonna say it and use her name in the same sentence, the BB. And Miss Maddie Dorsey, the first elected black female in Washtenaw County's history. If I can get you to at least do that, to stand up and basically say something, okay? One of y'all can't say nothing. You know who you are because you like the post. But the rest of y'all, if I can get y'all to stand up and say something, thank you. Right? Thank you. Make that a point. Make it an important thing. Please do, because we will remember if you don't, because you have to get reelected, don't you?
The way I see it now, you either do it right this time or you're only doing it one time. I mean, I took some years out of the county. I was out of here for a while. I wasn't even around when Jerry Clayton first got elected sheriff. But see, just as I said this last time, it's over now. Now we really got to do some things. I just don't talk on Facebook. Y'all just done held me down in the damn last 2 years with this bullshit. Because I wasn't getting on those Zoom calls and having them mute me and shit and all that crap. No, I want to sit down front.
Right.
I want to sit down front. I want to wait, and I want to hear other people talk. I want to make sure y'all respectful to these elders that make their way down to these meetings. I want to sit there. I want to hold doors there for every elder that's going to come in and have the courage to do so. And just as she said, every single one of you are on the clock.
Yes.
But on the other hand,
I'm gonna be calling you. If I ain't called you, I'm gonna email you. You know, you do have public emails. And so basically I'm gonna ask you, how do you feel about this? I'm gonna show you the posts. I'm going to send them to you. And I'm gonna ask you, how do you feel about this? Some of us ain't even talking to each other. I'm still gonna ask you, how do you feel about this? I don't care. The point is that I want you to know, right? Unless you are Miss Brown, who already know about it.
yeah. And I think I can reach out to somebody, because I don't know the man personally, but I can reach out to somebody who can reach out to Brother Tucson. And let's see if Brother Tucson knows, has he been nudged on this and what his
I don't
thoughts.
know. Maybe when she liked the post, she didn't tell him. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on there. I am so utterly confused.
Well, I believe that this is a good time to close out, seeing that you're confused. I'm actually starting to get upset again. I had actually calmed down, but when you brought up causes, because see, that bothers me more than anything. That convenient activism that really bothers me and shit.
Convenient activism, yeah. You know, it's I heard something recently, and I'm just gonna put this out there, and I'm done after this. You know, we the people of Detroit. That's Monica Lewis Patrick. I want to give her a shout out because I love Monica. And I was hearing something in regards to, like, recently about Flint water, right? And about who went up to Flint to support the people of Flint. Like, who originally went up to Flint and supported them and kept supporting them throughout. You better say her name, Monica Lewis Patrick, and we the people of Detroit, because they did it. Okay? So when I hear all these people talking about, I went and took a truckload. How about many truckloads? Okay? How about many truckloads of water to Flint? Okay? Don't start this mess about trying to go get 15 minutes of attention when you don't know. Okay? When you don't know. This fight went on from 2013. Don't get it twisted, okay? I know, because I was covering it in 2013 on my blog. Now, I'm not going to try and say I was the first that ever did anything, but I know one thing I know about Monica, and I know what she did. Stop it with your 15-minute of attention grabbing self. I just had to go.
So Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? So Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie?
That's it.
I want to thank you. I want to thank you for doing this. I look forward to doing a space with you again regarding economics in our community, talking more about reparations on a national scale, because that's really what it is. It has to come from the federal government, but set aside policy and legislation that we can get passed on the local end. We need to start pushing these politicians to do that, because that's what leads us. That's what leads us to federal reparations. But see, to the naysayers who always talk that shit about, oh, that'll never happen, that'll never happen. Well, y'all stand back, because we don't need y'all anyway. But to the people who are ignorant in the discussion of reparations, please come forth so you can be taught that reparations just ain't about a check. It just ain't about us being given something. There has been a
Please.
debt that has
It's
been
a debt.
created over 400 years plus in this
Yeah.
country that y'all don't know nothing about.
The
Y'all,
critical
y'all,
race
y'all,
theory is not the payback.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It is deeper. It is much deeper than that.
Much deeper than that. And most people don't have the intel, so they just bypass it. So I look at it as this is a good time for y'all to sit down and learn. And y'all gonna learn. Just like Annie's gonna learn, just like anybody else that steps up with this bad bitchdom, they gonna learn too, because we're not going to have that shit. This doesn't work for us. This doesn't work for us as a collective. And whoever let it slip by, y'all on the clock. Monica's already said so. You're going to get called out individually. You're going to get called out collectively. There ain't no
And these activists, don't start trying to jump on this bandwagon unless you're basically supporting. Okay, I'm letting you know right now, because if you try and basically, oh, this is now my cause. No, you can support. But if you ain't said nothing all this time, this is not your cause.
No. This isn't your cause, and this isn't your time to talk. Now you're going to sit and you're going to listen and you're going to deal with people that we only have one mission here. And
That's it.
And that's putting our ancestors' names in the right space and making sure that anything that goes forth from this point on, it will only go forth with respect.
Right. And if you didn't know Miss Dorsey at all, please don't talk. Basically, just listen.
That's all I got.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. I appreciate anybody that's going to watch this video. Free, I hung in there all night again. Appreciate anybody that's came through. I saw Ryan come through earlier.
I mean, this
I
is
saw
the world
Ryan
to
come
me, and
through.
I know it's the world to a lot of people that don't know about this yet, but through your show, they're going to know. Thank you, Shannon.
We're going to talk some more. You go get some rest, because I know that grandbaby still ain't up with that tablet. So you get up in the morning. You get up in the morning and enjoy that time with them, because at this point, what we've got here and we've got here. And see, they can't take that away from us, Monica. They can't take our brains and our hearts away from us. And that's all, and it's all for us. It's all for here. We ain't out there trying to do nothing nowhere else. Like you said, if we go to Detroit, we just go to Detroit to be allies.
Support. Yep, that's it.
We can't do nothing in Detroit but be allies.
That's it.
So I expect anybody that comes into this community.
You know what I'm saying? I used to live in Detroit, and I can still only be an ally. That's the way it is.
That's what it is. I resided there, resided in Redford. I can only be an ally there. I'm not a native from there.
Right.
And I feel the same way about anybody that comes here that's not a native of Washtenaw County. You just live here. That's all you do. You just live here. So when in Rome, sit your ass down. Ladies, you have a good night. I'm going to play my outro. I appreciate you. And
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. This has been a great talk, and I look forward to talking to you in the future as well, Shannon.
As a brother in the struggle, just know I ain't going to flip-flop on you. I'm going to be there.
All right. Well, talk to you soon, okay?
And phone cord next time.
All right. Sounds good.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
This revolution is filled with so many ironies, really. First, you tell us that it is manly to keep your word, right? If you are a man, you keep your word. And now all of the black people in this country are demanding, and even the black people in the whole world are demanding, is that you keep your word. You told us we were free. Well, then show us that we're free. You told us that there is justice, equality for all in this country. Well, then stick to your word and let us see the justice and equality for all. Or else admit to us that you're not a man. You're a word. You're afraid of us. You're afraid to give us equal stand. You're afraid that if you give us equal ground, that we will match you and we will override you.
Appreciate it, Monica. Appreciate anybody else who came into the space tonight. I didn't plan on going 3 hours. guess we had something to say. Respect is respect. And I thought the way we did tonight was respectful. Because respect begets respect. If you don't know, just sit your ass down. We'll teach you. One love.